bartender to make it a Carbach.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the NFL playoffs. KTFM Floresville, San Antonio's Sports Center.
NBA playoff action tonight. The New York Knicks once again try to close out the Detroit Pistons. They lead 3-2, but the game is in Detroit tonight. Tip-off there set for 6:30. Denver Nuggets have a chance to send number 2 in the Clippers home for the offseason, leading 3-2. Tip-off for Game 6 set for 9 o'clock from Los Angeles. You can catch that game right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 8:30.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, live out at the Rocket Lock on Terra. Specifically, we're inside the Spurs fan shop as we get ready for a taste of the Northside that benefits the Brighton Center.
Pretty cool place in here, this fan shop, though. I got to say, there's a lot of cool stuff. This is the first time I've been in here, and they got a lot of good Spurs swag.
They do. And you know, it's interesting. You walk into the Spurs fan shop, and I haven't been in this location either, the old one when they had the other store and all that. But you walk in, and there's so much that you can buy. And then you wonder who actually buys this, right? You know, the Riley Minix jersey, which I would like, but he doesn't spell his name right. He needs another N on that jersey. There's a Duke Jr. jersey, and there's all kinds of stuff that says the Rocket Lock on Terra. Who's buying stuff that says The Rock?
I don't know, unless you're The Rock. He could come in here and buy them all out, man, and it'd be great. Just say, hey, I'm The Rock.
He couldn't fit in any of these.
Well, maybe not.
Now let's be honest. You were looking at a Rocket Lock on Terra shirt just because it has a big R.
Just
R. It's just like for Reinagel. Because if your ego's big enough to put your, logo on a shirt.
Oh, it's big enough.
Yeah,
absolutely. The problem is they didn't have my size over there, so that was a problem. They didn't have my size in that particular shirt.
There's 81 of them over there.
I'm just telling you, they didn't have my size.
They're all medium.
Well, they had small, medium, large, and double X.
Hello.
I don't need a double X.
It's San Antonio, sir.
I just need one X, and I'm good.
I'm sure they could get you one.
Well, they might.
They might have it over there in the back.
I'll have to check. Over there.
By the time this show is over, Reinegel's going to be about $500 lighter in the wallet.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. There's some cool stuff, though. The only thing, and I will say, and I love my San Antonio Spurs, don't get me wrong, but that throwback stuff is, how do we say, less than attractive.
Well, here's the thing. And I know what you're talking about. And maybe if one of the dudes that works here could bring some of that stuff over, it's the city edition stuff in light blue.
That's it.
Light blue does not. I look at those and I don't think San Antonio Spurs. Now it's better than the UPS Brown stuff that they had. But when I see blue and whatever logo that is, I still don't look at that and say, man, that's a cool Spurs shirt. If you're wearing that in another city, hell, if you're wearing that here, I don't know how many people would identify that as Spurs gear.
I don't know. But what's cool about it, it just says San Antonio.
Yeah.
So you can wear that anywhere. And, oh, yeah, you're from San Antonio. Well, as a matter of fact, I am.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's true. But,
right.
There's another one, and it's got kind of like the Tower of America logo.
Yeah.
That doesn't say San Antonio. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the non-traditional look in the alt uniforms, and I know the NFL is going to do something very similar over the next several years because they're always trying to figure out ways to separate us from our money, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that like that and a lot of people that want to get that, but it ain't for me.
No, it's not. But there's a lot of cool stuff in here. I will say that. The hat selection is outstanding.
Yes.
They even go all the way back to the All-Star game that we had here in San Antonio. Was that 1996?
Yeah, you can get that hat.
Yeah, you can get that hat, that logo. It looks pretty cool. A lot of fond memories from that.
There is a great George Gervin hat.
That
the
too.
Iceman, and it's just a silhouette of the poster that many of us had on our bedroom wall growing up. Right next to Farrah Fawcett.
Oh, how
Cheryl
sweet.
Tiggs.
Yes. All of the above. But it is cool, and there's a lot of cool stuff there, no doubt about it. So come in here and say hello to us if you're coming out here to the Taste of the Northside. And, just say hello. You might end up with a 94-1 Fiesta medal.
We have Fiesta medals. Now, you got to get by grumpy-ass Greg Shelton to get one.
Yeah.
They are very scarce and very popular. In fact, I'm actually wearing one today. Day one in my life of wearing a Yaya
you look
Bear.
like an 80-year-old retired doctor.
I'm dressing the part. For my birthday this year, Rob Thompson bought me a shirt.
Nice.
And he says, dude, I've known you a long time. At some point, you got to dress like you're going to Fiesta.
Uh-huh.
So I did.
Okay.
I'm wearing it today. It might be a one-time use only or the annual time I'll break this shirt out. Although I will say, it's got lots of pockets. And that's very convenient. I've lost more stuff today because they're in a pocket that I didn't know I had.
Yeah, you got lots of pockets, that's for sure.
There's lots of pockets, which is going to be perfect when I'm walking around later.
For what?
Well, because people hand you stuff. You're getting stuff. If I need an extra fork, I got a pocket for that. Place to have some napkins because you only got two hands. But there are 48 restaurants that are out here at Taste of the Northside. More importantly, there are 44 different spots to get a beverage.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that. There's beer. It's Shiner Beer that is the official sponsor of Taste of the Northside this year, so that's everywhere. But there's also wine, mixed drinks, anything you want.
Yeah, there's lots of wine. I saw Dripping Springs Vodka's got a whole setup over yonder. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. Like I said, 44 drink spots and 48 restaurants.
That's good.
And when you look at
they're schwanky restaurants.
Schwanky.
Yes.
Schwanky. Is that the word you're going with?
It's not just your typical chicken on a stick at other Fiesta events.
And there ain't nothing wrong with that. But,
no,
I mean, you think about like Roost Chris is out here, Blue Prime is out here, Southerly is out here, Paloma Blanca is out here, Smoky Mo's Barbecue, Renzo's, Eddie V's, Kona Grill, Tuasor. Garcia's, let's see. There's all kinds of, there's a ton of restaurants on that list.
There is a ton of restaurants. Renzo's, one of my favorite eating spots. They're out here. I'm happy to see that. I will be visiting that tent.
I just
later.
like seeing food, Spirit, Deep Eddy, Spirit, Dripping Springs, Spirit, Spirit. There are lots of spirits out here.
A lot of spirits. I'm telling you, and from what we understand, there are still tickets available. You can go online and buy them. And I know everybody balks at the price, but I guarantee you, by the time you get downtown and park your car and buy your beer and your chicken on a stick, and you're spending $300. Easy. This, you're out here. Once you buy a ticket, you put your wallet away. You don't need it again. And you've got everything here that we just mentioned and more, plus free booze after you buy your ticket.
Look, once you get your ticket, it's there. Like I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday who did oyster bacon, did Nios, and he's getting everything. And he's like, we had the limit. We set a budget of $200 for every event. And, and you go through that pretty quick. He's like, we could have stayed longer, but you got a budget for Fiesta, and that 200 didn't include the tickets to get in. It didn't include the parking. It didn't include. So yes, it is an expensive ticket. I get that, but once you get in, you don't reach for your wallet. And I love the Brighton Center and all the great work that they do and the kids that they help. So you also know it's going for a great cause, and it is close to sold out. Save yourself the hassle of driving out here, trying to park, dealing with traffic, and finding out that it's sold out. You can still buy your tickets online at tasteofthenorthside.org. So once they're sold out online, then you can't just walk up and try to get in.
And there's a comment on our YouTube page, any shiny women. Well, let me just say there will be some shininess here tonight. I know that from experience. it's a target-rich environment, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
So yes, that's available.
Yes.
I don't know if that's available, but it's here for your viewing pleasure.
Well, I would imagine that there are some people here looking to meet up.
It could be.
I would imagine. I mean, look, it's an event. It's a party. If you're single, yes, you will have opportunity here. Just saying. Everything is a target-rich environment from that standpoint.
So it's well worth it. Treat yourself. All right, come on out and have a good time with us. We're going to be out here. Who knows how long? Quite a while.
Well, I don't know.
Enjoy everything.
Pledge, are you doing a show today?
I am.
It might be a longer extra innings with Pledge because,
I don't know, what, about 4 hours?
No. We might steal an extra 10 minutes. I don't know.
You never know.
The internet goes down at 5:40. Oops. Greg Shelton, I don't know. He unplugged. He's ready to go.
Well, the good news for us, the event actually begins at 6 o'clock. So as soon as we're off the air, we're in.
And that's it. Now, I will say I've been coming to this event for damn near 20 years, and we've done our show here for 17 years we've been on the air. 17 years we've been coming out here doing this. The event starts at 6. People are doing stuff in the 5 o'clock hour.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
absolutely they are. And we're hoping to taste test some of the product today before they open up. That's always a possibility.
That's the goals. Greg Shelton, it's the one day he's proactive and solid team player, goes and gets, because he's, it's really for him, but he's kind enough to bring us stuff back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the one day where he smiles the entire broadcast. I mean, so we can't do our normal contest today because Shelton is already smiling.
Well, I guess that's a smile. I'm not sure.
For Greg Shelton, it's ear to ear.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
My goodness.
It is the Blitz here on at 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. The Lakers season is over. The story again today isn't about how good Minnesota was. It's, what's wrong with the Lakers? We're going to dive into that coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. You know me, you listen to this show enough, the Roo Pub is my go-to spot. Any big game, any big fight, the Roo Pub at 281 in Redland Road is the best place to go watch because they've got those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around, and the food, fantastic. Love the fried shrimp over there. They've got the biggest and best wings in town. A lot of incredible burgers, about 15 different burgers on the menu. The original Wemby burger. They've got that great bison burger. Hot dogs, I mean, you name it. I mean, the appetizers are great. Even Pledger tells me the salads there are wonderful. I'll take his word for it. And more importantly, that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. So when you need a late night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. They will have both fights this weekend, so get into the Roo. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant, the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
George gets justice. The accident wasn't your fault, but now you're facing pain, bills, and uncertainty. You don't have to do it alone. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, they listen, explain your options, and fight for what you deserve. No upfront costs, no stress, just real help when you need it. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, long nights monitoring cyber activity, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training. We call that credit where credit is due. Whether you're active duty and looking at what's next, or a veteran looking for something new, our degrees and certificate programs teach the application of emerging technologies and enduring life skills. So get started on a degree or certificate with personalized local support services and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. UMGC keeps your educational goals attainable with no-cost digital materials replacing textbooks in most courses, reduced tuition rates for eligible service members and their families, and scholarships for those who qualify. Get started here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-885-7700. 800-885-7700.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we are dedicated to helping you live life fully. Playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit iffhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com. Oh, I'm ready! And get ready for the workday.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel.
Please do that. You can go in there and make some comments, and you can break hearts like Alexandra, who was supposed to get a medal from me, but apparently AJ comes through and she picks it up at the station, and now I feel like I just got jilted.
You did.
I did.
You
flat
did.
out.
That's
all right.
That's just.
I see how it is. See how it is.
That's AJ.
It's all right, Alexandra.
Nah.
He'll break your heart, darling. I'm telling you, he will.
And you won't?
Well, we don't know that, but we know AJ.
The fact that she would take a second-rate medal.
Exactly. They didn't get the good ones, Alexander. I'm just telling you. There were different classes of medals. We got the first-class ones. They got the third-class ones.
Well, and then the reality is AJ has no idea what a Fiesta medal is. He doesn't give it him. He doesn't understand the special meaning of it.
It's all right. It's okay.
I can't wait to see him get out here tonight to Taste of the Northside, where proper behavior is.
Proper behavior and AJ don't exactly mix.
Yeah, they do not. They do not. But we do have Fiesta medals out here, so if you're coming out to Taste of the Northside, come see us here inside the Spurs fan shop where we are right now. Beautiful air-conditioned store. Thank you to Greg Shelton. And then also, if you see us here, if you're at Taste of the Northside, while we still have them, and Joe put a whole bunch in his pocket. So just reach into Joe's pocket. You can take whatever's there.
Yeah, well, it depends on who you are.
Not really.
It does.
Not
Absolutely.
Really.
Yes.
Just reach right into Ryan Eagle's front pocket. Not his back pocket.
Yeah.
That's the wallet. You can't have that.
Can't have that.
Anything in the front pocket, and that's fair game.
Sure. Might have to remove my hands first, but other than that.
I mean, yeah. Fun Fiesta game, folks.
Yes, absolutely.
T-Wolves, they end the Lakers season last night. And I will say, last night, man, I was hoping that the Lakers would win, to be honest. I was also hoping that Golden State would win, but neither team did. Both teams that I thought would win. And there's a difference between what you think and what you hope for, just because I wanted longer series and I wanted Houston eliminated quickly. But it still bothers me, and I think it's just my Spurs fandom, when I see a good team eliminate the Lakers and all the talk is about the team that lost and not why Minnesota won that series. Now, I get it. The Lakers are the story, right? It's the big bad Lakers. It's LeBron James. It's Luka. They are the story. But at some point, national media, give Minnesota some credit.
Well, yeah, sure, they're going to give them some credit. But look, I watched that game, watched most of it last night, and the Lakers were just sloppy. They looked old and they looked tired. And they're not old other than LeBron, but they just looked like they were completely worn out, but they were turning the ball over. Luka can't spell defense. I mean, if he had to, he can't.
He never has.
But it was on display fully last night. And look, Minnesota tried to give them that game. Minnesota didn't play well last night. It's just the Lakers could not take advantage of it. And then you talk about Golden State, they quit midway through the third quarter. So, I mean, pulled everybody and just said, that's it. And their scrubs almost, they made a run and almost came back. So it's one of those things. Golden State just was a little arrogant last night, I will say, because it's like, we can lose this game, no problem. We'll take it back to San Fran and we'll win there.
You know what? I appreciated what Steve Kerr did, and you call it arrogance. I thought it was smart. Why have your starters in there that late? You're not going to win that game. You know you're not going to win that game. We have an older team. We have to conserve energy. You know, complete opposite of what we saw from J.J. Redick when he didn't sub out anybody in the second half of the last game. He was trying to win that game like nobody's business. He wasn't going to give one away, but that might have cost them, just because you could tell that the fourth quarter of every one of those games, the Lakers didn't have enough in their gas tank to finish strong. And J.J. Redick, and I was a fan of J.J. Redick when he was on ESPN. I feel like I learned a lot of basketball listening to J.J. Redick. But at some point, dude, you can't always sound like you're the smartest guy in the room, and you can't question him. This was J.J. Redick before the game in the pregame press conference when Dave McMenamin from ESPN questioned not having a sub in the second half of the previous game.
As you watch the film, what do you recall about your thought process in the moment, sticking with the five you stuck with in the fourth quarter the other day? And is there an assistant or someone maybe that you'll lean on tonight, maybe to try to get, some other guys involved if that opportunity presents itself?
Are you saying that because I'm inexperienced and that was an inexperienced decision that I made? You think I don't talk to my assistants about substitutions every single timeout?
No, I just think there's a lot of coaches lean on their assistants in those situations.
As do I, every single time. That's a weird assumption.
It's not a weird assumption because you are inexperienced, and it showed big time in the playoffs. It showed big time. J.J. Redick is probably going to be a great coach, but in this playoffs, it showed big time. His inexperience.
And he got up and left.
Yeah.
And I thought it was Dave that asked that question. That wasn't Dave on that question. He asked a couple of really good ones before and after, but that obviously wasn't Dave. Now, the game ends, and really at this point in his career, it's always going to be, LeBron, how much longer are you going to do this?
I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. Something I sit down with my family, my wife, and my support group and kind of just talk through it and see what happens. And then just have a conversation with myself on how long I want to continue to play. I don't know the answer to that right now, to be honest. So let me see.
Look, LeBron had a pretty good season. I mean, for a 40-year-old man, he can still play. I don't think there's any question about that. But when does that turn? And when does that start to go downhill? And how many more years do you push that? And I'll say the same thing I said about Tiger Woods or anybody else that has been great, and they get older, long in the tooth, and it starts to go away. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see LeBron suck. I really don't. And I think that's coming. I really do. As great as he is, as in shape as he keeps himself, I think that process is starting to show.
Well, and he still plays at such a high level, and he respects the game enough to where you see him passing, getting teammates involved. And again, you're right. At some point, it will be a very diminished LeBron James, but he still can play at a high level, but he needs the proper team around him. Now, there is an interesting answer, and you think about his time with the Lakers. Yes, they won a title in the bubble. But he's got a championship as a Laker, right?
Yeah.
He won an in-season one, too.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you look at didn't make the playoffs, won a title, first-round exit. I believe they did get to the Western Conference Finals once and the NBA Finals once, where they've been out the first round or not made the playoffs. So, I mean, you think about his time with the Lakers. Now, J.J. Redick kind of feels like a hand-picked coach by LeBron James.
Yeah.
But he was asked last night about getting a center for this team and what it's been like since Anthony Davis was traded, playing without that player. Listen carefully to how LeBron didn't but did answer the question.
No comment. I'll never say that because my guy AD said what he needed, and then he was gone the following week. So I got no comment. I put that uniform on every night. I gave everything I had, and that's all that matters.
What?
Yeah.
How do you
what
take
is
that?
he afraid of?
Well, I mean, look, AD said, and AD did. Well, trade deadline's coming up, man. I hope we get a center so I can go back to playing my kind of game. And all of a sudden, he's traded. Is he saying that he would rather have AD than Luka? Or is he saying, I ain't saying anything because I like it in LA. I don't want to get traded, but if I speak the truth to you guys, they'll ship my ass out.
Well, I tell you what, the Lakers need something. And they've got a 7-footer sitting on the bench that never saw the floor. And I mean, does that guy suck, or is he horrible? Wouldn't it at least have been something to put him in to clog up the middle, if nothing else? And it never happened. And Minnesota's big. I mean, they're a long team, especially with Rudy Gobert back there. But look, the Lakers need some help. And I keep hearing about this Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves. And the regular season, yeah, they can play. But I tell you what, they didn't play a lick in the postseason. And I know everybody's going to flash up numbers to me, but Austin Reeves was terrible last night. He was awful. Hachimura he hit some shots, but they need some help. They need to revamp that team. And I don't know if that starts with a LeBron James or keeping him on board. Or do you just say, LeBron, it's been nice. If you want to play somewhere else. We're going to build around Luka. Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to be available. And every team on the planet is going to go after this guy, including, by all reports, the San Antonio Spurs. So, I mean, there's going to be some guys moving around. Kevin Durant's going to be available most likely. But the Lakers need some help. And I'm here for it. And I hope they suck for 10 years.
Now, yes. You look at the Lakers, and they talked about this morning on Get Up. Superstars go to the Lakers and they stay there for life and they retire. And they were talking about Luka will retire as a Laker. The one guy that really didn't was Shaq, but they traded away Shaq. Every other superstar that made their way to LA, and that's what they do. They acquire star power. So Giannis, if you're the Lakers front office, are you pairing Luka and Giannis together? And hey, LeBron, this was fun. We got Bronny now. We're good. You got another kid coming in. We'll take care of that too. But you've got to go somewhere else. Can they make it work? But I would be shocked if LeBron left the Los Angeles Lakers and continued to play. If he retired, that's another story. But I'd be surprised to see LeBron put on yet another uniform. But that said, Luka And I know we talked about this some yesterday. Luka doesn't play defense, and he's out of shape. That was one of the knocks and one of the reasons why the Lakers got him, because the Mavericks didn't want to give him a supermax contract, knowing the kind of off-season habits or in-season habits or workout habits. And quite frankly, I look at Luke and I don't give a damn. Do what you do because you are great, but you got to manage that. And I don't think J.J. Redick managed that well. Jason Kidd was able to manage Luka's out of shapeness last year as Luka drugged the Dallas Mavericks to the NBA Finals. But you do wonder at Luka, at what point does he realize he's got to be in better shape when the postseason rolls around, because you could just see him game after game after game getting tired, and he doesn't play defense anyway, so he's only playing on one end of the court. But it also, his being tired affected his offensive game late.
Well, I mean, okay, I'm going to blame J.J. Redick for a lot of that. You cannot play 6 guys in a series that is as physical as the one you played in and expect those guys to have any gas in the tank. The Lakers, all of them, not just Luka, all of them last night looked tired. Every single player, because J.J. Redick plays 6 guys. That's it. And LeBron, Luka, they're averaging 40 points a game every single game, and the playoffs are a different animal. Now, look, I'm not saying Luka's not out of shape, and he's never played defense. And if the Lakers thought he was coming in there and going to play any defense, they were sadly mistaken. You've got to get some big guys behind Luka Doncic. You've got to get some rim protectors, somebody there, because when they go by Luka, somebody's got to be there to pick up the slack. That's what Dallas did. They had some guys, they had some rim protectors, and the Lakers don't. They don't have anybody. But nobody there plays much defense, to be honest with you.
They don't. Again, and I know you meant 40 minutes a game.
What'd I say?
40 points.
Okay.
But 40 minutes, and you're right. But at some point, I'm surprised you, of all people, Joe Reinagel, aren't putting any of the responsibility on the player. You're right. I agree with you. J.J. Redick knows what he has in Luka, and he's got to coach that way. But at some point, Luka has got to make the decision and the commitment that every professional athlete has, and you can't always. You're 25 years old with a dad bod, right? You're a world-class athlete with a dad bod. At some point, and this is one of the issues apparently that Nico Harrison had, especially when it came to giving him a supermax. I think other things are involved with the new ownership group, but at some point, Luka's got to bear some responsibility to be in better shape to be a world-class professional athlete.
Well, we've got to see if the Lakers are going to be willing to pay Luka. And I know they can't give him a supermax, but it's going to be a hell of a contract. Do the Lakers want to invest that kind of money in Luka Doncic, or does he end up somewhere else? That's a possibility. So we'll see what happens with Luka. Look, I'm saying he does need to get in better shape. And I think if LeBron stays and LeBron works with him and holds him to account in the offseason, which I think LeBron does with a lot of players, then that's going to help him. And LeBron's going to force this guy to be in better shape. But Luka is a hell of a player. But he needs help. You've got to piece a team around him in a way that helps Luka. He's not going to play defense. He's just not. And I don't think you're ever going to be able to teach him to play defense. So you've got to put some players around him that can pick up that slack.
And I know Lakers are the story, but man, how about Minnesota and giving those guys a little bit of love for what they were able to do last night? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Hey, Gary, you're on the Blitz. What's going on, man?
Hey, okay. Everybody knows that Luka is not a great defensive player at all. But if you look back at the Dallas team that Luka was on, he had probably about 3 7-footers on their team. They could cover up for some of that defense. The Lakers had 1 7-footer, and for whatever reason, J.J. Redick decided he wasn't going to play him at all. And plus, as bad of a defensive player as Luka is, once he fell down, he was even worse. So I guarantee you next year the Lakers going to bring him a 7-footer in. I don't know how good he's going to be, but they're going to get a 7-footer because they need to have somebody to protect the lane. And you're not going to have it if you just go with Jackson Hayes. He just can't do it. He can't end the first half without at least getting 3 fouls. Come on, Rudy Gobert, 24 points, 20 rebounds. That's not going to happen again.
And J.J. Redick decides to play small ball against Minnesota, which is just dumb. Again, showing his inexperience. And maybe he'll develop into a good head coach, but his head coaching inabilities were magnified in the playoffs.
Yeah, you're not allowed to criticize JJ. Just ask JJ. But, and Gary mentioned Rudy at the end, Rudy Gobert. I love the way Anthony Edwards described Rudy's game last night.
Rudy played phenomenal, man. He played almost 40 minutes tonight. 12 for 15 from the field. Yeah, we can't ask nothing. He had 24 rebounds. He was a dragon tonight. Rudy was the dragon. Yeah, he was a dragon tonight, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Nah, he wasn't a dragon from Antarctica, though. He was a dragon from Game of Thrones tonight. Yeah, he was incredible tonight, to answer your question.
Yeah, he was.
He was Rudy Gobert, and the guy that you see from time to time. He was. Anthony Edwards, I think, opened up everybody's eyes. You don't get to see him. He's not talked about a lot when it comes to play and some of the major stars in the NBA, but he should be. This guy is he's a beast. He's a player. And he's just fun to watch. He really is. And he gave just about anybody that was guarding him, whether it was Luka or LeBron or name a guy, he gave them all fits. And that kid can play defense as well.
Well, and I'll tell you, you think about the game Rudy had last night on my underdog pick'em entry. I had him higher than 6.5. That was easy money.
Yeah, it was.
Easy money. I was looking at that going,
yeah.
Sometimes you can find those. And turn them green. That's the key. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star Live at Taste of the Northside over at the Rocket Lock Ontario, broadcasting today inside the Spurs fan shop. As we continue, Jerry Jones talking about Trayvon Diggs and his rehab. We'll have the update here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's a beautiful day in San Antonio today, but you never know when one of those thunderstorms are going to pop up, because it happens this time of year. It's spring here in South Texas. That means storms, wind, rain, hail, all of that kind of stuff. You want to make sure your roof is okay. Look, we've had some storms and we've had some hail. If you think your roof was damaged by that, you need to call Stevens Roofing, a family-owned company, locally based company. Look, and they're not going anywhere. That's the beauty of it. You want to do business with a company that's not only has deep roots right here, but they're not going anywhere. And they've got a long list of satisfied customers to prove it. They are the best in the business. And why would you call anybody else? Stevens Roofing and Solar is going to make sure that your roof is in top shape to protect your home and to protect your family. They can also do new roofs. You want a metal roof on your house? Stevens Roofing can do that. They also do commercial projects as well. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to remember this phone number, Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994. Give them a call. They'll send a crew out to your house for a no obligation free roof inspection. And whether you need a new roof, whether you need a minor repair, or just a confirmation that your roof is in great shape, Stevens Roofing is the company to let you know that. Look, if you need a new roof, they're going to work with you to provide that new roof so you get it done and get it done right. They'll repair anything you need as well. Look, they're going to give you that peace of mind that you need, that you want, and that you deserve when those storms come rolling in. Stevens Roofing and Solar, the absolute best in the business. Give them a call, 210-785-0994.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Friday on the Morning Huddle, Fiesta Friday. Show me your shoes and shake your Coscarotis. It's going to be a good weekend. We'll get you ready.
After a couple of game sixes Thursday night, we have game sevens and a whole weekend to look forward to. Plenty to talk about. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger, Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist, with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Surprise! Your table saw broke. Also, the warranty expired weeks ago, so you need to pay for a new one out of pocket.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Oh, and the replacement part you ordered doesn't fit, so it's completely useless. What a waste.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Yes, sir. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagle, I'm Jason Minix. We're in the Spurs fan shop at the Rocket Lock on Terra because this is the location of this year's Taste of the Northside, which is tonight.
It's kind of cool watching them all set up. We've got a bunch of tents over there where they're going to have food and drink and all that stuff. And even right in front of us here, they're getting set up for food and drink as well. So everybody getting ready. This thing opens at 6 o'clock. And as of about 2 hours ago, there were still tickets available. I'm not sure that there are now, but there were about 2 hours ago.
You know, San Antonio is such a walk-up town. And the best advice we can give, because this is what we were told to say, go online and try to buy tickets, because once you can't buy them online, they are sold out. So save yourself the trouble of parking, driving over here, walking up just to be told you can't get in, because you can buy them here, but you run the risk if they're not available online, they are not available. So get out here. It's such a great cause benefiting the Brighton Center, which does so many wonderful things for kids here in San Antonio. This is my favorite Fiesta event, has been for damn near 2 decades, and I love everything they do at the Brighton Center. So you're helping a great cause. You're having a great time. There are 48 restaurants out here. More importantly, there are 48 different places to get something to drink, or 44 places to get something to drink.
Very nice. So you're not going to go hungry. You're not going to be thirsty, and you don't have to pull your wallet out once for anything once you're inside the door.
Yeah, once you're inside the door. Unless, of course, you walk in here to the Spurs fan shop and decide you need a new shirt.
Well, that's true.
Which is a possibility.
Well, that is a distinct possibility before I leave here today. I need to update my Spurs swag.
My guess is you're going to be about $500 lighter today.
Well, I doubt that.
You're eyeing 4 or 5 different shirts, and you're just going to get them all. And a couple of hats.
I'm thinking about a hat over there for sure. So
there's a whole bunch of people over there that will help you get that hat.
I know it.
Stop thinking. Make the purchase.
Well, I'm working. I can't just walk over there right now and buy a hat.
Yeah, you just went outside then.
Well, I did.
Talked to the lady at Roadhouse, hoping that she'd have some steak ready.
Well, she doesn't yet, but as soon as she does, she's bringing some to us. I was, just helping you out, helping Shelton out.
Yeah.
But I didn't get a thank you at all, do I?
Well, and once there's food in front of us, you will get a thank you.
She said, I'll hook you up.
Yeah.
It's exactly her words.
I'll hook you up.
I will hook you up. You can count on us. Apparently, they're going to have beef tips.
So you traded a Fiesta medal for beef tips?
I didn't even trade a Fiesta medal.
Not yet.
Well, that's a possibility. Because we have a bag full, don't we?
Yes.
Of the good ones, by the way, not the ones that AJ's handing
out. These aren't the morning huddle flimsy ones.
Yeah, the morning huddle ones are the cheap imitation medals. Just saying. So in case you see Rob or AJ and they try to hand you a medal, you want to say, oh, geez, is the Joe or Jason around?
Well, I think Nick actually gave Rob some of the good ones.
Oh, is that right?
AJ got some from 2017.
Which we didn't have in 2017, did we?
We did.
Okay. Well, I wasn't here, so.
You weren't here.
No.
I mean, you were alive. You just weren't working here.
I wasn't working at this place. I was at that little TV station.
Yeah.
At that time.
So one of your old coworkers out here.
Yes. Lexi is out. She doesn't work for Ken's 5 anymore. So she's got her own company now.
Yeah,
so.
Doing social media.
How about that? She's good at it, by the way. That's what she was doing at Ken's 5 too. So she's good at it. One of those youngsters that is into social media and stuff and good at it. Yeah.
Cowboys did get a corner in the draft last week. 3rd round, guy coming off an injury, but by all accounts a steal. Without the injury, the reports saying, you hear this all, he would have been a first rounder. And again, that happens all the time. But there are a lot of questions when it comes to Trayvon Diggs and his ability this coming season. Jerry Jones was talking about Trayvon Diggs and his rehab.
He's working hard. That's very important because if he will be very good and diligent as to his rehab process, then he'll get back quicker and he will arrive when he does get back sounder than if he has not worked as hard. He's more subject to injury. He's learned that one time. So my point is I have a lot of hope that his actual rehab and experience from the time before is really helping him out. And I think it has.
Well, I tell you what, if you listen to Jerry and the tone in his voice, apparently Trayvon Diggs didn't work very hard the first time around. And it didn't sound like Jerry was too pleased with his cornerback, especially after he gave him that big contract. And it's kind of like, you better work harder this time, young man.
I think a big part of that is so many of these guys rehab away from the facility on their own. And so you have to trust what they are telling you or what their team is telling you. We went through a situation like this as Spurs fans with a certain player.
Yeah, number 2.
And I understand, dude, with the investment that not only you have as a player, but also with the investment they have in their facility, hard to find a better place to go rehab than what they have there in Dallas. And if you're questioning whether he rehabbed the right way or not, did he work hard enough, all of that, and then you get hurt again, I mean, there's a level of trust there that gets broken quickly.
Well, and obviously Jerry wasn't pleased. I mean, you could hear that in his voice, that he was not pleased with the way Trayvon worked. And then he gets hurt again, another serious injury. I mean, this is not some kind of just minor injury that Trayvon is dealing with again this year. And so Jerry, I think, made it a point that you're going to train a little more here. If I'm signing those paychecks, I'm the boss, and you're going to train here. I don't care who you are or who you have at home. You're coming here, and we're going to watch this time around.
And, you know, by mandate this week, we all have to give a Shedeur Sanders update. Every show in the world has to talk about Shedeur Sanders, the 5th-round pick, at some point every day for a solid week. 2 updates on Shedeur today. Still trying to figure out who leaked the number. So we know the Falcons got fined $250,000. Jeff Albrecht got fined $100,000 because they sent, the NFL did apparently, according to Pro Football Talk, an email said confidential, and it went to just like very high up people. So you think, well, Jeff shouldn't have gotten that. But then the league apparently sent it to everybody on their email blast, and it wasn't marked confidential. And maybe that's the one that the kid saw, because that would be the reason why Jeff had the phone number.
Well, and what's going to be interesting about that, if the NFL is responsible for this, are they going to pull those fines away? I mean, seriously, because it's leaking today that it was the NFL, in fact, and not the Atlanta Falcons that provided this phone number.
That said, because there is confidential information on Jeff Albrecht's team-issued iPad, and his kid was able to access it, it's still his responsibility that his kid was able to get into his iPad and get the phone number.
What about the Atlanta Falcons? They had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, they're an employee of. The idea, though, that it's there, and who knows what other confidential information was accessible to a college-age student that wanted to make a prank phone call to Shedeur Sanders. And again, I know other people got pranked, but they're not Shedeur Sanders, and they didn't slide to the 5th round. I gotta believe if Shedeur Sanders would have been taken in round 2, nobody gives a damn that he took a prank call.
Well, look, I think it's very unfair if the NFL is the one that provided this number originally, for them to fine the Atlanta Falcons organization the amount of money they did. Where's the accountability for the NFL? They've got to have some accountability in this, and I think it's extremely unfair to the Atlanta Falcons. I don't give a damn about the Atlanta Falcons, but it's unfair to them. The NFL's got to take some accountability on this, and they've got to change the way they do this as well, because there were 6 or 7 players that were prank phone called, and that can't happen.
No, it can't. They've got to figure that out. They really do need to figure that out. Why are they sending it through email? I'm surprised there's not a server that you could log into where everything is, and only certain people have an access code, and all right, Reinagel, his login, he was in there. So you know what I mean? I think there's got to be something along those lines. And give Shedeur Sanders a lot of credit, and I will. He shows up in Cleveland, and one of the first things that he does is he goes and talks to a school, and he talks about how involved he's going to be in the community and wanting to give back and wanting to do various things like that. But, going to a local school and going to an assembly from a reputation management kind of, that was a very cool thing to see him doing the first couple hours or days he was actually in the city of Cleveland.
No, I totally agree with that. And I think it's probably a concerted effort by whoever his handlers are, whoever's handling his PR. Maybe it's legendary. All the people that he works for, look, we've got to rehabilitate your image. and this is the first step. I would expect to see a lot more of stuff like that.
It's going to be interesting to see ultimately how it goes. And he still doesn't officially have a number yet. He has the number one selling rookie jersey.
So you buy a jersey and you may get it, I don't know, at some point.
At some point, he'll get issued a number. It's probably going to be number 2. Well, I mean, that's what he wears.
Number 2.
But they haven't made it official that he's getting that number. But everybody that has gone to pre-order, as soon as he's got a number, they'll slap it on that jersey and send it to you.
Didn't Tim Couch wear number 2?
Tim Couch have that?
He was a legend in Cleveland.
Didn't Johnny Manziel have that?
He was a legend in Cleveland.
Didn't Amari Cooper have that?
Legend in Cleveland.
There's a lot of people that have a brown number 2 jersey. And yes, those jokes do write themselves.
Yes, they do.
Speaking of crap, here's 2 crappy stories that we're going to get into coming up. Both.
Yes.
Both are just.
Well, crappy.
Yeah. Well said. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, live at the Spurs Fan Shop Rocket Lock on Terra, where we are getting ready for a taste of the Northside, which is happening tonight. Now, if you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and as I look around all these restaurants out here, they all have gear. I'm guessing a lot of these companies got their gear over at Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. You need uniforms. Sam has over 700 uniform lines to choose from. All kinds of t-shirts, screen printed. Go get those done at Sam. You need your logo on a nice golf shirt, a fishing shirt, a Wyabera. Sam will get you taken care of. He has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, just waiting for your logo. And he's got all the popular cap brands like the Richardson 112 style trucker caps, the Katie caps, Nike Cap America, to name a few. Nobody has better prices. No order too big, no order too small. Call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or go by that massive showroom down on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
When you think San Antonio sports, think 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Cowboys. KTFM Floresville and SASportsStar.com.
Count on Kohl's for those special gifts Mom deserves this Mother's Day. Inspire her inner chef with must-haves for her kitchen, wellness essentials for her fitness routine, and jewelry for her perfect night out. Plus, you can save 15% on some of your finds and earn Kohl's cash. Find Mom's perfect gift in time for Mother's Day at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Select styles. Offer valid through May 11th. Kohl's cash and coupons do not apply to Sephora. Exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for more details.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
Gomez Law Firm has been fighting for the rights of San Antonians for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here. What is something you see often as a personal injury attorney and protecting your clients?
The one thing we always see without fault in a case is that the insurance company will always reach out to them soon after the collision, and they try to get them to agree to a low settlement. They try to get them to agree to signing a piece of paper. They want them essentially to sign their rights away without ever even consulting with an attorney. right? In the grand scheme of things, if you sign a piece of paper, you're signing your future interest away. So that's why it's so important to call the Gomez Law Firm, because we make sure we protect your rights, and you're not signing your life away. You're not signing your rights away.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then call the Gomez Law Firm first. 210-736-4040 or visit joegomezlaw.com. Protect your family and protect your rights.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
Gentlemen, testosterone levels can start dropping in your 30s, leading to low energy, reduced libido, and slower metabolism. Rock's Discount Vitamins is making it easy to take back control. No appointments and no prescriptions. Just head into a Rock's and walk out with a natural solution tailored to you. Our powerful line of natural testosterone boosters can help increase energy, build muscle, rev up your metabolism, and reignite your drive. You'll feel the difference and fast. Visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God in South Texas.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the lake or clean out your closet? RV wins! Putting the dishes away or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Cleaning the fridge or taking a trip to the beach? RV wins!
You might want to clean the fridge real quick because, mold.
We clean out the fridge, then take the RV out.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Good news for the UTSA Roadrunners. They landed USC Trojan Amarion Peterson in the transfer portal, according to 247 Sports. Texas native was a class of 2023 four-star recruit. Well, the LA Lakers season came to an end last night. LeBron James was asked after the game if he planned to continue playing next season. He responded with, quote, "I can't answer that right now."
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on YouTube. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. We're a taste of the Northside.
Yes, we are. Watching all the folks set up their particular spots, getting the food ready, the drinks ready, and all of that kind of stuff, because, well, we're about 3 hours away from the gates opening here at the Rocket La Cantera.
My favorite Fiesta event, and I'm watching all the setup that's going on, and I know what we do for like our golf tournament. Well, I say that. I know what I watch our people do for
yes.
our golf
That's
tournament,
better.
And it's like this on steroids. It is amazing when you're out here early, and ultimately when you see it all come together by 6 o'clock, probably by 5 o'clock, it's going to be ready to go. Right now, you think about when you're having a party at the house and you're trying to stay out of the way while your wife's running around doing everything, getting everything ready. And, you're trying to look busy, but hoping to not get put to work.
Yes, exactly right.
It's exactly what we're doing today.
Exactly. We're watching other people work, and it's very fiesta-y.
Yes.
Very fiesta-y out there.
And like we're talking, so we can't really go help. But like Greg Shelton could have gotten off his ass and go help those ladies with some of those big old carts and moving tables around. And he just looked and laughed, and yeah, sucks to be them.
Yeah, it kind of does. And I'm not sure who they are. Now, to our left over here is the Texas Roadhouse. I'm not sure who the fine ladies are that are right in front of us. They're still setting up.
We'll find out.
But look, how many restaurants, Jason?
48.
48 restaurants here, and some swanky ones. I'm telling you, good food to be had here at the Taste of the Northside.
Well, and you mentioned Roadhouse is here. We got Roost Chris here. We have Blue Prime here. There Eddie V's is here. There's Renzo's is here. Max and Louis is here. Paloma Blanca is here. Chicken and Pickle is here. B Daddy's Barbecue, which I believe B Daddy's is over off. They've got one off of Judson and O'Connor, Judson or O'Connor, somewhere over there. I think maybe another. I've heard a lot about B Daddy's. I've never had B Daddy's barbecue, so
I have not either.
I know that I will certainly make my way over to B Daddy's barbecue.
Well, I was told,
which makes me wonder, because I'm looking at, I don't know if these numbers are assigned areas, but they're right next to Roadhouse on this list. So I don't know.
Right here,
that might be them. That would be pretty damn cool if it is.
Well, that'd be great. I was told by the nice folks there at the Texas Roadhouse that as soon as their food's ready, they're going to bring us some samples. And I thought that was very nice. I said we'd speak highly of you on the radio.
If it's good.
Well, it's Texas Roadhouse, dude. It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
It's good. Although, and I realize they've got to prepare food that they could serve to the masses,
right?
And make it quality. But you're a steakhouse. I know they're doing beef tips, so it's close. But dude, bring a ribeye out and let's cut that thing up and let's go.
Well,
you know what I mean. It's that and I know some of the places will do that. Some of the steakhouses, but I remember one year, and I won't name the name, but
why not?
They were out here and they're a steakhouse and they were sampling their salad and bread.
No way.
Well, they're not back. I don't see them on the list.
Salad and bread. Why in the hell?
Well, somebody wants the salad. Well, it's just not me.
Because look, I mean,
that
honestly,
place we were at the other night. If they brought their Brussels sprouts out, I just keep rolling.
Well, for you, there's a lot of people. Everybody else at that table liked the Brussels sprouts. So,
well, sure, but if you saw them and you thought, "All right, man, I'm getting that steak," and you got Brussels sprouts.
But Texas Roadhouse has got everything.
I know.
I mean, they got burgers, they got chicken fried steak,
they got their rolls and butter out there.
They got everything out there. So it's okay for them. And you're talking about Blue Prime. I'm sure they'll have steak.
Yeah.
Who was it last year? Was a steakhouse that had Frito pie? Was that a steakhouse? It was Wagyu Frito pie.
It was Wagyu Frito pie. It was fantastic.
Pie.
I know it's right there across from the Majestic. Why am I not?
The Bohannon's?
Bohannon's.
Okay.
Bohannon's.
Yeah.
Draw a blank on Bohannon's.
Frito pie.
Sorry, guys.
Wagyu variety.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Let's do a quick time check.
All
it
right.
is 3:06. James Pledger tells me that at 3:11, you have a chance to win tickets to see 3:11 at the 713 Music Hall down in Houston. So may or may not warn you at 3:11. Be caller 11, and you're going to win a pair of tickets to see 3:11 down in Houston on Friday, May 9th, which is a week from Friday.
We're going to see 3:11 when? When are we going to give the tickets away?
At 3:11.
3:11 at 3:11.
Yes.
Okay. At 656-3776.
That is correct.
3:11 at 3:11.
What caller?
3:11?
Oh, no. We're not doing.
Oh, sorry, Pledge.
Caller 11.
Okay. Pledge just had a coronary.
No, he didn't. He would have gone to your car and did what some woman did. Let's talk about it on the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
Now, this story has Florida written all over it, but it's in Pennsylvania. Now, I've seen a lot of things. You've seen a lot of things. I've never seen this before.
Never.
And
don't want to see it.
It was caught on video. Road rage to a whole new level. Like, holy crap, literally. I don't know what was going on. I don't know the backstory. I just know what TMZ has and the TikTok video that they posted. But there is a woman who apparently was having a road rage incident. The cars all got stopped. She got out of her car, goes up to the front of the car that was apparently pissing her off, a little Toyota. It's a silver car. And right there on the hood above the emblem, she kind of pulls her undies to the side and she takes a dump. And again, she's got diarrhea. So it splattered all over the hood of this car.
Yeah, and I wonder how you plan that. I mean, honestly.
Timing is everything.
I guess so. You've just happened to have diarrhea that day. and somebody pissed you off, and you wash their car with it.
It's explosive. It's disgusting. But first off, I mean, who can poop on command?
Well,
right?
That's it.
I mean, and that's ultimately what she did. She took bullet, but again, a classy lady. She didn't drop her drawer. She just pulled it to the side and pooped on the car. And I can only imagine the driver view of that, because you get it from somebody that was at a side road that started videoing.
Well, what's genius about what she
There's
did?
nothing genius.
Well, after she finished, she just walks out. She did this cocky walk and just said, "Look what I showed him." Pooed on his car.
And she's wearing these big old white grandma panties that are not white anymore. They can't be.
I wouldn't let her back in the car.
Well, I mean, she was driving her own car.
Oh my God!
I mean, it is one of the more bizarre road rage incidents that I've ever seen, and it was caught on video. If you would have just said, "Man, I saw this happen," I would call BS on that. There's no way. People can't poop on command.
She can,
but there's video. There's video.
She is a talented woman.
When Ryan Eagle first sent the story and the headline, "Woman poops on car hood in road rage incident," well, the video and the headline don't quite match, because, like, how do you poop? And the other car just sitting there, but it was quick, and it was a spray.
I don't. This lady left a pile, a puddle,
a whole double dragon thing going on there. I mean, that was
a puddle.
Just brutal.
Holy cow!
Just brutal.
Well, that's one way to settle road rage, I guess.
I wouldn't try that at home. I wouldn't try that at home.
No, I wouldn't either.
Greg is very interested. You can come watch the video, Greg. If you want to see the video, it's on TMZ. It's on TMZ. I don't know that I want to retweet this, but it's on TMZ.
You should.
I don't know what you do. I mean, you can't take that to the car wash. Do you imagine it's 311? Call now. I can't imagine you take that to the car wash, and those old brushes that are going to brush that are then going to brush it onto the next car. Like, what do you do with your car after that? Burn it?
Well, you got to go get a hose and hose that thing down first. That's awful. Because, look, that would come off right away. It's not like it's sticky poo. It's liquid. I mean, she left a brown puddle on this dude's hood.
Mm-hmm.
Probably get a cup of water and pour that off.
Now, staying in the state of Pennsylvania, again, this feels like another story from Florida, yet it's Pennsylvania. Penn State University. That has nothing to do with the university. That just happened to be the venue where a bunch of kids' soccer games were going on. And if you've been paying attention to the news, you know there were some big storms the other day out in Pennsylvania and big wind gusts. Well, a porta potty got caught up in the wind. Now, it wasn't flying through the air, but it was being pushed along the ground, and everybody's running for cover because of all this wind, and a porta potty takes out a soccer referee.
Well, and look, this wasn't just a run-of-the-mill porta potty either. It was a fat one, with more leg room, I guess, and it was coming down the road, and I don't know how she didn't see it, although she's a referee. So there you go. That explains it.
The awareness of this referee, because again, when you see the video, courtesy of TMZ, or TMZ has it, it almost looks like she tried to put a shoulder into it, give it a body check, and the referee lost big time.
Yeah.
And then got rewarded for losing to the porta potty, and only a way that a porta potty would celebrate victory, if you know what I mean. Apparently the referee is going to be okay, but you're right. For a referee, especially soccer, where you're the only one out there and you've kind of got to keep an eye on everybody, I got serious questions about the awareness abilities of this referee.
That's a referee. She needs glasses, like all of them.
Like all of them. So, big old blue porta potties coming down the field. It cuts across.
Craziness.
Crazy. Yeah, I hope one of those side referees that hold the flag gave the porta potty a red card.
You can't touch the officials.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, that's a fat. I've never seen a big fat porta potty like that.
Well, it's for ADA, sir. You've seen those.
Okay, so you get a wheelchair in there?
You probably could in that one.
Wow. I just thought it was just a luxury extra legroom one. So when you're sitting there, your knees don't touch the wall.
Who sits in there?
Somebody does, because every time I go in one, there's a deposit. So I don't know why or how. I don't know if they hover or what they're doing.
You understand the why. The how is the bigger question.
Exactly.
Pledge, there's a button in there that says Jerry on it that certainly would work for this segment for Joe. Not that one.
The wavelengths are
not that one. Not that one, Pledge. Nice try.
It's all right, Pledge.
Not really. Not really. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, live at Taste of the Northside, happening this year. Brand new location for Taste of the Northside at the Rocket Lock on Terra. Gates open at 6. You want to get out here, my favorite Fiesta event. If you get out here early, come see us. We're broadcasting live today inside the Spurs fan shop here at the Rocket Lock on Terra. The Bill Belichick girlfriend story is getting weirder and weirder. Woo! You won't believe what this girl's mom does, and Jordan is proven to have a type. We'll talk about it. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You know, guys, summer is here. Time for gatherings, time with friends, family activities, vacations. How are you going to keep up with all of it if low testosterone is draining your energy? The answer is simple. TRT with Synergenics and Low T Center. Go to the website, fixmylowt.com. They might seem convenient, but those online TRT services can be a hassle just to get started. You end up spending hundreds of dollars and wasting time with unreliable test kits, waiting for days for lab results. And that's before you even begin your treatment. They say you meet with a doctor, but sometimes you don't even see an actual person on screen. You want to trust your health to a chat? Worst of all, you have to wait again to get your meds in the mail. That doesn't sound like quality health care to you, right? Nope. Trust the experts at Synergenics and Low T Center. They've been changing patients' lives for a combined 25 years. They understand what guys need. They are in person, and they make it easy to get started with the quality care you deserve. There's never been a better time to start TRT than right now with a free consultation and a free T-test. It's free and it's fast. They have an on-site lab to process your test quickly, and if you qualify, you can start treatment that day. With locations conveniently located across San Antonio, you can be seen by one of these Synergenics or Low T Center's healthcare professionals and get started right away. And you have the power to take control of your health. And with even more than just the white glove service, the in-center care, medically monitored and custom dosed TRT. You can even do that at home if you want. And for guys looking to just lose a few pounds, Synergenics and Low T Center make it easy with prescription weight loss medication, and you'll receive a free B12 shot on the same day. Most major insurances accepted, so you have no excuse. Go right now to fixmylowt.com to book your first appointment. That's fixmylowt.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Friday on the Morning Huddle, Fiesta Friday. Show me your shoes and shake your Coscarotis. It's going to be a good weekend. We'll get you ready. After a couple of Game 6s Thursday night, we have Game 7s and a whole weekend to look forward to. Plenty to talk about. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
You know, the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Hi friends, this is Keith Hernandez. Ever notice that when your shop needs a part, Napa is there? It's no accident. Napa spent 100 years building nationwide networks of parts and know-how for one reason: to keep businesses moving. Whether you've got a fleet of 500 trucks or a single bay garage, they've got you covered with the parts and expert service you need when and where you need it. Because at Napa, they are the pros that know how to keep you running at full speed. Find the parts you're looking for at NapaOnline.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jay Semenix, live at Taste of the Northside, my favorite Fiesta event. The location this year is the Rocket La Cantera. Going to be a great night tonight. Going to be a great night on May 6th as well. You can go to the SB&C Wilco if you're caller number 7 right now. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you don't win the tickets, you can always buy them at livenation.com. The Belichick story just gets weirder and weirder. Now, a couple of things. Do you, right? Right. I mean, if that makes you happy, whatever it is, do you, right? Who are we to judge somebody else's personal life? But even Charles Barkley, while on the Dan Patrick show, said, I don't talk about people's personal life, but I'm worried about my friend Bill Belichick.
Well, this is a very slippery subject for me because Bill's one of my really good friends. I'm not sure what's going on. He's been a great friend for me for a long time. We've been friends since he coached for the Browns. I think he got to be very careful right now. This is starting to be on a very slippery slope. He's the greatest football coach ever for him and Nick Saban, for college Nick Saban, for Bill to NFL. Yeah, I from what I'm hearing, it's starting to be a very slippery slope. And I never talk about people's personal relationship. That's another rule I got. But I will admit I'm a little concerned with some of the stuff that's going on. And I might actually reach out to him and make sure everything's good. But I am concerned from what I'm hearing, because it's not a good look right now. I'll admit that.
And he's such a control freak, but he's relinquished control. It feels like that's what's surprising to me.
Yeah, listen, man. I have very strict rules on things. Don't ask me no personal questions. Nobody in my family can speak. No, I'm the one who's famous. I'm the one who has to deal with all the crap. No, don't speak. Don't say anything, because if you say something, it's just gonna muddy the water. That's what I call it. If any family members speak out, it's just gonna muddy the water. And I'm a little concerned. I'll admit that, because he's my friend through good, bad, and whatever. And I just hope everything's all right.
You know what's strange about this, Jason, is the fact that he is acting un-Bill Belichick-like, to let this little girl just kind of take over and control things. I mean, that is very unlike Bill Belichick. So you have to wonder. I mean, honestly, and I know this is conspiracy theory, the kind of guy that I am, but I mean, does she have something on this guy? Is there something she's holding over him? I mean, look, I know she's 24 years old, and I know he's 73 and all of that, and you take that where you want. But even after a while, that gets old.
Well, I mean, you say that. Now, Jordan Hudson apparently has a type. Her ex-boyfriend, who is a 64-year-old businessman who she dumped for Bill Belichick, has nothing but nice things to say, according to an interview he did with TMZ. A guy named Joshua L. Zuckerman, a businessman, tells TMZ that he met Hudson several years ago, and after bonding over psychology, philosophy, and nature, they became romantic. They were on again, off again for a while, and then, of course, she found Bill, and that was over. Quote, "She is wise beyond her years, much more than any 20-something I've ever met in my life. The narrative about her character is not fair to her."
Well, I mean, look, a lot of younger girls like older guys. I mean, that's true. It's not political, but the press secretary for Trump is married to some dude that's in his 60s, I think, and they just had a kid together, and she's like 28. So, I mean, it happens, right? I mean, the younger women, for whatever reason, some of them like older guys. So I don't know what the deal is. There's something there. That CBS thing was just weird.
Well, it was, and it's just par for the course. But also, you've got now so many people looking into their personal life, which, quite honestly, is a little creepy, and it's nobody's business. But, Charles Barkley, is he hearing things, as he talked about with Dan Patrick, that even we're not hearing because of the friend group that they're in? And then you read headlines like this: Jordan Hudson, whose mom owns a sex toy shop, has amassed a $9 million real estate portfolio since she started dating Belichick. So, here's, somebody in their early 20s, starting in 2023, started buying real estate. Now, is she buying that with her money, his money? She's opened up a lot of companies that she's CEO of, like Belichick Productions, amongst others. There's over 20 businesses that she's opened that somehow relate to Bill, and she apparently draws paychecks from it. But with this real estate that she's been buying, according to the mortgage reports that they've all looked into, they're already paid off.
Wow.
And they're in her name, not Belichick's name.
Well, how's Mama doing with the toys?
Well, apparently it's a it's a sex toy shop and museum.
And museum. A museum.
I mean, as you read about this, the parents had a family business that ultimately didn't work out, and it was a fishing business. It went bankrupt. You can't make this up.
This is crazy.
Her mother eventually moved to Provincetown on Cape Cod, where she manages a sex toy shop and museum.
So what do they have, a vibrator from 1950 or what?
Maybe. I have no idea.
This was used
Is it
by
a museum?
Marilyn Monroe.
Is it a? Is it?
Did it plug in?
I don't know.
I mean, I have no idea. But it seems like it was long before AAA batteries were invented, right? I mean, I have no idea. Is it a sex toy museum or is it a sex toy shop and then they have a Cape Cod museum? Different place. I have no idea. I can just read the sentence the way it's written.
Wow. Well, yeah, it's just getting crazy. And look, we're going to hear stories like this because you're right. That reporters all over the country now have got the microscope out and they are digging into Bill Belichick and this young lady's life. They're going to find out more about them than probably we'll ever want to know. And it's opened up a huge can of worms. And what I find funny, if she would have, the fact that she didn't let Bill or anybody talk about how they met. I mean, that's just weird, isn't it? And it adds a mystery to this whole thing.
But it does feel like Belichick, going with his statement that it was only supposed to be about the book and nothing else.
Well, that's ridiculous.
And again, Belichick, go back to every press conference he had when he was head coach of the Patriots. He talked about what he wanted. We're on to Cincinnati, right? We're not talking about that. We're talking about this. And she's trying to do what Bill wanted, and that's don't let people because they have talked about how they've met.
When have you ever agreed to not talk about something when you've gotten somebody on? When and somebody said no, we can't talk about that. And it's like, well, I mean, I go back to my early days in radio. Me and Russell Scott interviewing Potsy. He goes, I really don't want to talk about Happy Days. I'm like, well, you might as well get up now, dude. Because there's what else? And the first question we asked was about Happy Days.
Well, you have to.
You have to.
I can tell you, I've had a couple of experiences like that. Where one time we were doing our show down on the Riverwalk at Rio Cantina. It was Sam Hurd's football camp. This is prior to obviously him going to jail, and he was a member of the Cowboys. And he had brought a bunch of teammates in. We're doing a big party out there. A great time. We're going to interview Roy Williams and Marion Barber. Now, granted, Marion doesn't ever say a whole lot, so it was basically Roy Williams. As soon as we sit down, Roy's agent hands me a note that says, "Don't ask football questions." and I look at him and I stare at him. I'm like, and we talked football.
Of course.
I mean, what else are you talking to Roy Williams about? The only time that I was asked that I actually went with was we were interviewing Stephen Jones, got a call shortly before the interview that said, if you ask about whatever lawsuit the NFL was dealing with, Stephen can't answer these questions. And won't talk about it. And so I was told, you can ask, but he will not answer. So, do you want to spend your time? And I think we did bring up the lawsuit that it was there and got the, I can't really talk about that and you move on. But I've never agreed to, like, these topics are completely off limits because, you tell the handler, well, that's what everybody wants to hear. So I've got to do my job. Now, I can ask, you can choose not to answer, and I won't beat you up over and over and over, but I've got to ask these questions. That's my job.
Well, and the CBS guy, I mean, when you're talking about that's just journalism 101. You're 73, you're with a 24-year-old girl. How did y'all meet? I mean, that's a legit question.
To give hope for every guy out there.
Well, exactly.
I mean, there's somebody like grumpy-ass Greg Shelton that thinks he's got a shot because of you, Bill Belichick.
Well,
what's the secret?
Yes.
Besides being rich as hell.
Well, and that's which is screwed Greg Shelton because he's not. So he's screwed. But seriously, I mean, and you don't want to answer that question. It makes no sense. Look, it depends on who you believe. Belichick says it was supposed to be all about the book. CBS says there were no preconditions. So somebody's telling the truth and somebody's not.
Now, I could also, doing this enough, you get some PR company that sets up an interview and then they hand it off to an agent. And then the agent working with your producer to get the interview. So they might think PR company's already done that, and the agent has no idea, or vice versa. I mean, I believe both. I believe CBS wouldn't put that statement out if it wasn't very easy, and it would be very easy for Bill's team to show a copy of an email to CBS agreeing to whatever condition. So CBS doesn't put out that statement if an email correspondence like that exists.
Well, and look, if you're CBS, why the hell would you interview Bill Belichick if you can't ask personal questions? I wouldn't do the interview. I mean, it's just dumb. They want to talk about it. He's trying to sell a book, all you want to talk about is his book. No, sorry. And she's sitting there. I mean, it's kind of like you're staring at an elephant walking over there, and you never mention it. And it's just dumb. It's dumb. It's reporter malpractice if he doesn't ask that. In fact, that they released that particular piece of video just shows they wanted you to know what happened. It's crazy, and the story's going to get crazier, I promise you, because we're going to hear stuff that you never wanted to hear about Bill Belichick. And what's her name? Jordan? Yeah. It's going to come out.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you.
It's
there are reporters crawling up both of their behinds with microscopes, I can promise you.
Pun intended.
Mom, do you have a microscope we can use?
Does that end up in Mom's sex toy museum?
Of course it does. This was the microscope that was up Bill Belichick's behind.
What is in a sex toy museum? Never mind. Of all things.
Yes.
Can only imagine the holiday dinner conversations between Belichick and Mom. And really, now I'm curious, is Bill older than her parents?
Yes.
She's 24.
Gotta be, right?
So, I've got a 26-year-old, right?
I would imagine that Mom probably calls Bill up and says, Jordan really likes this.
Oh.
You might want to send that over. I'll send it over to you. Can you imagine under the Christmas tree? A heavy-duty vibrating mechanism.
Tell me how to play a trombone.
Oh, Bill, you do you, brother.
I guess Bill does have to support the family business.
Of course he does. Come on.
And every Patriot fan I know, which is only one. So glad he's not the head coach now. It's amazing how
University of North Carolina is probably regretting that decision too. His son might take over sooner rather than later.
As head coach or?
As head coach. Bill's not going to be there long. Not if this continues.
Yeah, football season can't get here fast enough.
You ain't kidding.
Man, it cannot get here fast enough. Basketball playoffs last night. The Lakers eliminated. What's next for LeBron? Let's talk about it. Coming up on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Friday on the Morning Huddle, Fiesta Friday. Show me your shoes and shake your Coscarotis. It's going to be a good weekend. We'll get you ready. After a couple of Game 6s Thursday night, we have Game 7s and a whole weekend to look forward to. Plenty to talk about. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You know what's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag with a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger, 4-piece nugs, Junior Hot and Crispy Fries, and small soft drink is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
Unlimited time does not mean forever. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, and California and via third-party delivery. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada.
It's playoff time in basketball, and to make games more exciting, make sure you download the Underdog app, one of the leading sports apps out there. And Underdog just became one of the best places to make picks during the playoffs with their extender promo. With the extender, you can play your way to increasingly bigger boosts each round of the playoffs. Start a playoff series by using your Game 1 boost and continue boosting each subsequent game to unlock the next one, whether your entry wins or loses. The longer the series, the bigger the boost. So download the Underdog app, sign up with promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, promo code STAR at Underdog. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska. Present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Gentlemen, testosterone levels can start dropping in your 30s, leading to low energy, reduced libido, and slower metabolism. Rock's Discount Vitamins is making it easy to take back control. No appointments and no prescriptions. Just head into a Rock's and walk out with a natural solution tailored to you. Our powerful line of natural testosterone boosters can help increase energy, build muscle, rev up your metabolism, and reignite your drive. You'll feel the difference and fast. Visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God in South Texas.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more. And then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
This is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix went to wee-wee, but he just got back, and there he is. Everything come out all right, Jason?
Oh, yeah, everything was good. I'll tell you what, though. It is not that it's that far away. A restroom is spectacular, by the way, here at the Rocket Lock Ontario. But as you're coming back, talking to people, talking to the people at Eddie V's, talking to the people at Kona Grill, talking to the people at Piatti's.
Did you tell them to bring us some samples?
Of course I did.
All right. We got some breaking news to start with.
Yeah.
According to Shams Charania, the Pacers have decided that Tyrese Halliburton's dad will not be allowed to attend games after the Giannis incident. Now, the only question is it's indefinite at this point in time. So I don't know if that means forever or if that's just a shortened period of time. But right now, Mr. Halliburton is banned from Pacers games.
I don't disagree with that at all. I'm curious because if you treat him like a regular fan, and we've seen fans that have been banned from NBA arenas. And with facial recognition software, they're able to do that, because your first thought was, well, can he just get a ticket and go in and just not have the good seat or the access? But this is the right decision by the Indiana Pacers. And as we talked about the other day, that dude is lucky that Giannis was able to keep control of himself and not just kick the living crap out of him.
Well, I mean, he's lucky that Giannis is as chill as Giannis is. Had that been Draymond Green or the whole list that we went down the other day when we talked about this, the guy would have been pounded into submission, and rightly so. I mean, my gosh, some guy comes at you. I don't care who he is. And I'm not sure that Giannis knew who he was right at that moment. But my goodness, I applaud the Indiana Pacers. They've got to send a message to everybody else that, look, this cannot ever happen. And I don't know if the NBA has something to do with this or it's just the Pacers' decision on their own. But either way, it's the right decision. And that can't be tolerated. Not at all.
And what I do appreciate is John Halliburton owned up to it in that interview he did with the Indy Star, coming out publicly, talking about how he was wrong, got caught up in the moment. The things that Tyrese said, I can't defend my pops on this.
No.
He was wrong. The Pacers know he was wrong. And I would imagine that is a very difficult conversation to have with a star player because your parents, your dad didn't act right. And I think it would be the same if it was a kid that didn't act right. It's the right thing to do. Not, sucks for John because apparently that dude is at every game courtside. And while we all love supportive parents, you can't do that. And I think that sends a message to the idiot dad at the Little League baseball game or the Little League soccer game that doesn't know how to keep his mouth shut either, because I think that stuff needs to happen more often, especially with what some of the parents say to referees or officials or other players. The fact that you saw Little League dad come out at an NBA game. I applaud the Pacers for having the balls to actually do that.
I do too. And again, I don't know if that was solely the Pacers' idea or if the NBA had something to do with that. Either way, it's the right decision. And you've got to send a message. Now, again, at this point, it says indefinitely. I don't know if that's going to be permanently. I kind of doubt it. I would imagine there will be a grace period when he can come back at some point in time. But at least for now, they made the right decision, and you have to send a message. You just have to. So that's it. The Pacers have banned the father of Tyrese Halliburton from Pacers games indefinitely.
And that's for the rest of their playoff run, which – they might have 2 more home games. Doesn't even sound like he's allowed to go on the road, at the very least with the family pass. I don't know if they can keep him from going to other games unless the NBA does say something. But for Indiana home games, banned for sure. We don't know the details other than that. But certainly you're not getting family access or the pass to be anywhere near the court.
Well, there you go.
Control
so that's
your dad.
You. And again, I don't think that was real. But you know what? If I'm the Cleveland Cavaliers, I'm making that real. Can you imagine game 1 on Sunday? You walk in there and you got T-shirts scattered everywhere, and Tyrese sees that. What a good way to just kind of needle that dude.
Oh, it's perfect.
Have T-shirts that say "Control Your Dad."
Yeah, that isn't going to happen.
I wish it would.
And you look at Cleveland for Indiana. Like I said, I don't expect them to get by Cleveland. And you even look at the 2 games that we have tonight. The early game, 6:30, Detroit and New York. Knicks lead that series 3-2. Tonight's game is in Detroit. I think Jalen Brunson has a solid game tonight. I don't know about Detroit. I'd like to see some of these go 7 just because, I don't have a dog in the fight. I just want more basketball and nothing better than a game 7. Denver and LA tonight. Also, if the Clips win, we get a game 7 there. I expect LA to roll tonight. I have no idea if Detroit could go get this win tonight. But could you imagine if there's a game 7 back at the Garden? Could Detroit actually win 3 games in Madison Square Garden?
I think they can. I think they match up pretty well against the Knicks. And again, the Knicks, you can't rely on them. You just can't rely on them. But the Detroit Pistons have a playoff losing streak at home that is still intact. And I don't know what it's up to at this point in time, but it's a pretty big number. They can't win at home. So can they break that tonight? Well, I hope so. I really do. I like that Detroit team, and I'm rooting for them, and I don't like the Knicks.
Yeah, I like the Detroit team. I think the Knicks actually close it out tonight on the road. Denver at Los Angeles, the late game, 9 o'clock. So as you stumble in from Taste to the Northside, catch the second half of this one before you pass out on the couch. I'd like Denver to win tonight just because I don't want the Clippers to advance. It'd be great in a 24-hour period to see both LA teams eliminated.
That would be beautiful.
But in reality, I expect the Clippers to win big tonight against Denver.
Which means we'll have a Game 7 in that series,
yes,
which would be a lot of fun. And especially that series. Well, both of them. If we could have a Game 7 in both of these series, because they've been the two best series of the first round, without a doubt. And I'm talking about the Clippers in Denver and Detroit and New York. So for those to both go 7 games would be fantastic.
And then you look at what we saw last night in last night was just not a good night of basketball. All right. I mean, it just wasn't.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, the Warriors quit midway through the third quarter. Steve Kerr just threw up the white flag and said, we're going to rest our guys and win it in Game 6. I'm assuming that's his mindset at that point in time, which, I guess I heard Rob Thompson this morning, and I agree with old Rob that every NBA team has a run in them. And actually Golden State did. Their scrubs had a run, and I think they got to within 13. I don't know what it was, but they had a little bit of a run, and then it didn't last. And we'll see if it works out. Steph Curry, Draymond Green, those guys are getting long in the tooth, so a little extra rest might do them some good.
Well, and credit Houston, knowing they were facing elimination. They ended that game early, and sure, there was a run there, but even Steve Kerr was like, we're not going to spend a lot of energy trying to win this game that we have no chance at winning. And when you have an older team, you're going to be able to you've got to manage that. And he did. It sucks to sacrifice a game in the playoffs, but Steve Kerr had to do that. Plus, you have Steph Curry dealing with the swollen thumb. And of course, the Warriors are mad. They felt like the Rockets were attacking the sore thumb, which is what you should do. There's a weakness somewhere. There's an injury. You make it worse.
Well, look, Golden State's tempting fate, though. You just think about it. If it's somehow, some way Houston can pull out a win in Game 6, they got a Game 7 at home. Obviously, anything can happen. So, you make those kind of decisions at your own peril, thinking you're going to win at home, thinking you have a better shot there. And if you don't, then you got to go back to Houston for a Game 7.
Which would be a lot of fun. Although, I don't know. I think Golden State is wow, I just saw that woman stepped on that chair and fell right through it.
Oh, my goodness.
I got distracted.
I'm sorry I missed that. Poor thing. She's okay.
She's okay.
All right, so that we can laugh. It's fine.
We can laugh now.
Yes.
I think she's okay.
Well, she's embarrassed as hell.
She doesn't
I know
realize,
that.
Man, she stepped on that and boom.
She's very embarrassed. I know that because she knows we're doing the show because there's glass, right? So you can see inside here, and everybody knows we're doing a radio show in here. So I think she's embarrassed, and the fact that we're talking about this poor lady. But she's got a story to tell.
Oh, she does have a story to tell.
I was on one of those chairs at Lock and Terra, and it just collapsed on me.
Well, and again, it folded up. She didn't crush the chair.
She stepped wrong.
It's one of those folding chairs that folded up on her, and then she tried to grab the pillar, which has got no chance of grabbing onto, and down goes Frazier.
I'm just sorry I missed that.
I'm surprised you did.
I was looking at my computer, and then I look up, and she's on the ground, and I'm like, damn, how do I miss that?
I tried not to bring it up, but I completely lost train of thought. What were we talking about?
We're talking about the Warriors being old.
Yeah, they fell off the chair last night.
They did. They did.
While she might get a swollen ankle, Steph is dealing with a swollen thumb that Okay, well, they're going back for that chair.
I'll tell you what, I wish
this
they
time
wouldn't
her
do
shoes
that.
are off.
Yeah.
We got to do some play-by-play on this.
Yeah, I think we need to. Yeah, because if these chairs are folding chairs, if she stands on the outside of the chair, she'll be fine. And I mean the seat portion of it, where your legs go, right, the end of your bottom and your legs go, instead of on the inside of that seat,
where it will fold up.
Where it will fold up, and that's what happened.
I'm thinking they probably don't need that banner as high as they think they need it.
Well, and I'm thinking that they should have brought a step ladder or something. My goodness.
Now, this isn't the woman that fell. This is the other woman. She wants her crack at
All right, here we go, darling. Be careful.
Oh, she's walked away.
Yeah, they've got to strategize.
Yeah, they got to figure out the best way to do this.
I think they're calling a coach saying, Coach, I'm just not sure about this play.
Yeah, let's take a timeout, man. That 25-second play clock is running down on this. And I still have no idea what that business is in front of us.
I don't have a clue either.
They have moved in. They have a lot of stuff that they've got to set up, and they've already got a man down.
Well, and she's fine, though. I mean, she's just, I don't know what she's doing now. Her back's turned to her. They had 2 blue wagons with those,
pockets,
terrain wheels on them.
Oh, yeah.
Where you could take that through mud if you wanted to.
Yeah, no, and good news, there's no mud out here.
Well, there's a
at Taste of the
piñata
Northside.
in there.
There's a who?
A piñata.
Yeah, there's a piñata. There's all kinds of things.
Yeah, they got lots of stuff.
I mean, this booth, when they get it done, if they survive, is going to be spectacular.
Well, I hope they survive because I don't want to see blood.
Wow.
I really don't.
I mean, there's an ambulance right over there just in case.
Well, there is. And maybe that's what they're thinking. It's like, I got to get back up on that chair. I just want to make sure the ambulance folks are.
Well, I wish they would do this. The audience is waiting to see if this banner gets hung, and I don't know that it will at this point.
You think they're listening to us and waiting for us to take a break?
I mean, I'd like them to be listening to us, but I think they're calling in a ladder. Hey, anybody got a ladder? Greg Shelton could get off his ass and go help.
Well, he could, but, we might need him.
Yeah, you would think Greg would learn how to turn on a damn microphone.
No, you can't do it.
Right.
That's our engineer, ladies and gentlemen, Greg Shelton.
While we wait for that, we've got we got a 4-pack of tickets for the San Antonio Missions game against Frisco next Tuesday night. You want a family 4-pack of tickets? They are yours right now. If you're caller number 9 at 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776, caller 9, you're going out to the Wolf to see the Missions take on Frisco. More of the Blitz coming up here from Taste of the Northside on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're listening to The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Jessica, what's on your mind?
Hey, CBD is good stuff, man. I'm chiefing all the time. They call me Chief because I'm smoking so much. Like a choo-choo train.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Jessica, Chief Choo-Choo.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Here in Texas, we know that trust is earned and reputation matters. Since 1993, Thomas J. Henry dedicated himself to building a firm that injured clients can trust and that Texans can respect. A firm where no defendant is too big and no case is too small. Backed by a track record of success and a commitment to our clients, Thomas J. Henry remains the name you can depend on if you have been injured. Trust the firm that stands for you. Trust Thomas J. Henry, San Antonio, Texas.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your boat, boat wins.
What are you going to do? Take the boat out for a spin or go mail something? Boat wins! Are we cleaning the patio or taking the boat out fishing? Boat wins! Are we skipping that eye exam to go sailing? Boat wins!
Rescheduling eye exams can be a nightmare.
All right, fine. Eye exam, then boat. Yeah!
With Progressive, you can bundle your boat with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings on your boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Cinco de Mayo is near, and the celebration starts at Total Wine & More.
your cocktail central. Whether you're shaking up fresh margaritas, sipping on a crisp cerveza, or savoring a smooth tequila, Total Wine is your fiesta celebration destination. So stop by your local Total Wine & More and make this Cinco de Mayo the best one yet. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Hey there, I'm Jack.
And I'm Stag.
We're just two deer that want to make sure you know it's deer season at your authorized John Deere dealer. The deer season that saves bucks, you know, like us.
Yeah, you can get $3,000 off select John Deere machines. No early wake-up calls or tree stands required.
Just a trip to your authorized dealer before June 2nd.
If you ask us, it's the only deer season worth celebrating.
Visit johndeere.com/deer season to find an authorized dealer and for complete finance details.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at Hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED. But Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
NBA playoff action tonight. The Knicks once again try to close out the Pistons. They lead 3-2. Game 6 in Detroit. Tip-off there at 6:30. Well, the Nuggets have a chance to send number 2 and the Clippers home for the offseason. They lead that best-of-7 series 3-2. Tip-off there set for 9 o'clock in L.A. You can catch that game right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It all begins at 8:30.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. We're at the Rocket Lock Ontario inside the Spurs fan shop as we get ready for Taste of the Northside, which is happening at the Rocket Lock Ontario, which is why we are out here.
Well, I don't know what that guy was doing. He just walked by, and he's got a nice suit on with a bow tie, and he was looking sharp, and he was walking fast.
He was walking fast.
Like he was late.
He might be.
Maybe.
You know, he might be in the band.
Yeah.
You never know.
We got security out here, and they just waved, and nice people out here.
Oh, it's a great spot. And again, if you've never been to the Rocket Lock Ontario, the new Spurs training facility, it is incredible. And obviously an event like tonight, things are a little bit different from what they normally have out here, but they do so many events. You see the band is out there on stage. When I was walking around earlier,
big stage.
Huge area. They were doing sound check, getting everything ready. It really is incredible. And then they've got the Spurs Club, which we were able to go up there earlier today. I don't know if we'll be able to go up there later tonight, but Spurs Club is pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. It really is pretty cool. It's a membership only club, by the way. I was able to come with some members about 2 months ago and had lunch and a few drinks, and it was pretty cool. But you can look. Well, when they have the curtains down, the curtains were up, by the way, when we were up there. But you can look down on the Spurs practice floor. And I guess that's kind of the sales pitch, that you can have lunch maybe and watch the Spurs practice.
Which I'm curious, and who knows how often that those windows are open when actual Spurs players are doing Spurs things. But at the same time, it is cool. And you hear guys like Chris Paul talks about eating up there all the time. I mean, like it's his favorite restaurant. Like, I don't know if he knows other restaurants in town. Other Spurs have been seen up there. So there's an exclusivity to it for sure.
Well, from the people I was with the first time I came here, they said he goes up there pretty much after every game and has dinner. So it is his spot to have dinner at. And I'm sure other players do the same as well. But it's a nice place. And the complex, the entire complex is huge. I mean, it's similar, I think, to the Pearl downtown. You know how they have all the open space where people go and gather? This is kind of similar to that in a way. Where it's just you can walk around and, kids can run around and play and do whatever they want to do. So it's a nice place. They've done a good job out here.
Yeah, they really have. And then again, you look at an event like tonight for Taste of the Northside. First year here, and I've been coming to Taste of the Northside. They started at Canyon Springs, then they were over at Sonterra for many years. Dominion one year. Security Service the last couple, and now this location, which I'm told they'll be here for at least the next 3 years. This might be the best location for an event like this.
Yeah, I think so. And we were told that at least for this year and the next two, it's going to be here. They've signed a 3-year contract to have this event here for the foreseeable future, which is a good thing.
So again, if you're coming out tonight, I have not heard if tickets have sold out. They were close to being sold out a couple hours ago. Online, buy your tickets. Don't try to come out here and buy tickets at the door because, one, once it's sold out, it's sold out. Two, why put yourself through dealing with traffic and parking just to be turned away? Because there is a limit to what they can do here.
Now, tell me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Because most Fiesta events, you have to pay to park. Here, you don't. I don't think you have to pay to park to come out here. Now, I could be wrong about that, and I need to check and find out somebody that knows that. But I think parking's free. It's just wherever you can find it.
Well, that's it. And my guess is if you get here early, parking should be easy. If you get here later, Uber. Because they have shuttle parking. Greg Shelton chimes in with their shuttle parking.
How about that?
I have no idea where that is, but it's somewhere. It's over yonder.
It's that way, yeah.
Sure, all those details are available online.
But if you Uber, we drove right by the rideshare drop-off, and it's right there in front, and you don't have to walk far at all.
No.
So that's awesome.
And when you look at the restaurants that are out here, worth the price of admission. A lot of great restaurants are here, a lot of high-end restaurants. They call it an elevated Fiesta experience. And they've got some that you might not say are high-end, but high quality. They got a great mix here. And
what'd you say, 46 different restaurants?
48 different restaurants, 44 drink stations.
Nice.
There's 46 restaurants that you'll go to because he won't go to the seafood spots. And we understand that.
Well, I probably won't go to those, but there are a lot that I will go to. The steak places.
Yes.
I like Renzo's. I'll find the Renzo's one. And I'll eat well tonight.
Right,
There's no question.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Because you said I'll find Renzo's.
Yes.
You eat at Renzo's often.
I do. I like that place.
And so you're in an event like this where there's probably, 48 restaurants, 24 that you've probably never been to. And, of those 24, maybe 15 that you've never heard of.
Right.
Wouldn't you rather try a place that you've never been to or heard of before than some place that you go to all the time?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I may go up there. I know a lot of the people there as you go. And
you're a regular. Norm.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So I would maybe just say hello, see what they've got, sample something, and then move on. But I feel like I'm obligated. It's kind of.
You're obligated?
I'm obligated.
As busy as they're going to be, the last thing they want to do is BS with you.
Well, that's not true.
Yeah,
that's absolutely not true. They will want to BS with me.
They're going to be busy. They're like, hey, here you go. Go. Move on. Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, then that's the case. But,
See, I like events like this because I will try places that I've never been to before. Now, I'll go to places where I know. Trust me. But I do, what I love about events like this, any kind of taste of kind of event, is it does get you to try new restaurants.
Well, and that's what these restaurants are hoping for, right?
Yeah.
If you've never heard of them or never been, you're going to try it, you're going to like it, and then you'll go in and do business with them. So that's the beauty of this. And they all donate this stuff. This is not, they're not being paid to be here.
It's the opposite. I think they pay to be here.
I think so.
Yeah.
And they and because it's all for charity.
Yep.
And so that's good, and it's great advertising for them, and it works out well.
And again, it's good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good.
No doubt.
Cannot wait. I'm
looking forward to it.
That starts gates officially open at 6
o'clock.
So come see us here. We got Fiesta medals too.
Yeah, we're in the Spurs fan shop, by the way. So if you're coming out here, you'll see us in the Spurs fan shop. Although by the time we're done, by the time you get in, we're going to be done. So we may not be in the Spurs fan shop by then. We may be somewhere else out there. Just find us.
Out yonder?
Out yonder. I'll be the tall guy. Jason, well, he's a little shorter.
Yeah.
So look for me.
Yeah, you'll find Ryan Eagle. Call him Bill Taylor.
Yes.
He responds well to that.
I've already been called that today.
Introduced as Bill Taylor.
Introduced, and I said, "Well, nah, I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm Joe." Yeah, it's a good thing I like Bill Taylor.
Yeah,
because I could have just acted a fool, and they would have all thought it was Bill Taylor.
It's possible,
right?
I mean, you could probably get away with that.
I don't know.
And Joe's got a handful of Fiesta medals in his pocket.
I do.
Just reach in and grab one.
Do you have Fiesta medals?
Yeah, they're sitting on the table right now.
I've already given them a couple away.
Me too.
So.
It's what you're supposed to do with them.
And these are the high quality ones.
Yes.
All right. Not the ones that
from the morning
they're
huddle?
giving away from the morning huddle. They're fake. So if you want a high quality 94-1 San Antonio Sports Star medal, you need to get it from me or Jason.
Yeah. Get it from Joe. It's in his pocket.
Yeah.
He likes that.
Well, depends on who you are. I don't like just anybody in my pockets. But there probably somebody out there that I wouldn't mind.
Mm-hmm. I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah. Well,
almost guarantee it.
Maggie will be here, so hopefully she'll have her hands in my pocket.
Hopefully.
I just embarrassed Greg Shelton. He's turning red, all kinds of shades of red over there. It's going to be a fun night.
She's going to have you on that small leash, huh?
Yeah, well, and for a little while, the sun will still be out. I did bring the sunglasses, so that's a vet move.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Hey, kind of hoping she shows up really late.
Well, once the sun goes down, I'm screwed. So then I'm on my best behavior.
Yeah. Good Lord. Let's talk some NBA playoffs. The Lakers eliminated. The story isn't about Minnesota. It's about the Lakers, of course. Let's talk about it. Coming up, it is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count, because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team: Southern Recipe Small Batch.
Hey, San Antonio, multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATS.
Gentlemen, testosterone levels can start dropping in your 30s, leading to low energy, reduced libido, and slower metabolism. Rock's Discount Vitamins is making it easy to take back control. No appointments and no prescriptions. Just head into a Rock's and walk out with a natural solution tailored to you. Our powerful line of natural testosterone boosters can help increase energy, build muscle, rev up your metabolism, and reignite your drive. You'll feel the difference and fast. Visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God in South Texas.
You know, the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. The offer ends soon. Call Connecticut today.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know, our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. We're inside the Spurs fan shop at the Rocket Lock on Terra. The Rock is the site tonight for Taste of the Northside, my favorite Fiesta event. I do find it appropriate that we're sitting here in the Spurs fan shop. I'm a Spurs fan.
Oh, so am I.
You're a Spurs fan.
Yes.
I think Spurs fans agree we hate the freaking Lakers.
Yes.
So there is a sense of joy while we didn't even make the playoffs that those dudes got eliminated in the first round.
And humiliated, I would say.
I mean, there's just something about watching that team lose. Now, that's the fan in me. The sports guy in me was thinking that they had a chance to make a pretty good run, especially after they acquired Luka.
Yep.
So a first-round exit in which they lose 4-1, That's a colossal failure of a season for the Los Angeles Lakers, who always have championship expectations, although with LeBron James out in the first round is the norm. He did win a bubble title, give him credit. One time they did make it to the Western Conference Finals, but outside of that, since 2019, they're either not in the playoffs or they're out in the first round. In this year, expectations were higher for the 3 seed Los Angeles Lakers.
Yes, they were. I mean, they had me fooled. I thought they were going to make a run, and I even had them in the Western Conference Finals. I was dead wrong. But, I didn't realize that J.J. Redick would turn into a YMCA coach and not trust the rest of his team. And that's exactly what happened. He played 6 guys. He wore his team out. Every Laker last night looked like they were completely gassed. And he just didn't do a good job of coaching in the playoffs.
Now, J.J. Redick, and I'm a fan of J.J. Redick. I loved when he was working at ESPN. I felt like when I listened to J.J. Redick break down stuff, I learned something. And that's what you want from your analysts. Are you just talking, or are you actually teaching something? But there's an arrogance that he has, because kind of feels like, and I don't know if it's the Duke part or what, but he's the smartest guy in the room when it comes to basketball.
According to him,
you can't question him. In fact, last night before the game last night, he walked out of a press conference after somebody asked a legit question about the previous game when he didn't rest his starters at all in the second half.
As you watch the film, what do you recall about your thought process in the moment, sticking with the 5 you stuck with in the fourth quarter the other day? And is there an assistant or someone maybe that you'll lean on tonight, maybe to try to get some other guys involved if that opportunity presents itself?
Are you saying that because I'm inexperienced and that was an inexperienced decision that I made? You think I don't talk to my assistants about substitutions every single timeout?
No, I just think there's a lot of coaches lean on their assistants in those situations.
As do I, every single time. That's a weird assumption.
It's not a weird assumption. You are inexperienced, and it showed in the playoffs.
And again, he does have some assistants with head coaching experience.
He does.
I don't know how much he's talking to or what they're talking about in those timeouts, but Nate McMillan's smart enough to know that at some point somebody needs to break. Those guys look gassed. You look at the fourth quarters of every one of those games, Minnesota dominated because the Lakers didn't have the energy to keep up with Minnesota in the fourth quarters. All those games, I think Minnesota won every fourth quarter by a wide margin. The idea that his guys weren't in shape. Listen to what J.J. Redick said today at their unexpected locker cleanout press conference.
The work that's required in an off season to be in championship shape. And, we have a ways to go as a roster. And certainly there are individuals that were in phenomenal shape. There's certainly other ones that could have been in better shape. That's where my mind goes immediately is we have to get in championship shape.
Yes, and that includes you, JJ. I mean, it includes them all. If you're only going to play 6 guys, you might want to break that to them before you start the playoffs. I mean, I would think you've got an entire roster, and there were guys on that bench that J.J. Redick obviously did not trust to put in that game. And you're playing your starters 40-plus minutes a game in playoff basketball, which is typically a lot more physical than regular season basketball. You had them worn out by the fourth quarter. They were simply worn out and had nothing left to give. And to me, that is all on you. Can they be in better shape? Sure. And of course, he's talking about Luka, and that's an easy target. That's low-hanging fruit at this point in time. Well, Luka wasn't in shape. Everybody knows that. Nico Harrison was right. Well, a lot of it's on you. If you know he's not in shape, then maybe you should have managed his minutes a little bit better.
And that's the point. You know what Luka is. And you couldn't change Luka midseason, that's for sure. The Mavericks never could change Luka, even though they tried. And quite frankly, and I know I've said this before, Luke is one of the best players on the planet. That dude wants to eat a chili cheese dog and smoke a cigarette during a timeout, let him. But you also have to manage his minutes. You know exactly what you have with Luka. You know that he's not in great shape. But at some point, Luka's got to decide if he wants to be a world-class professional athlete, and is he going to do what his own personal responsibility to be in better shape when that sort of stuff rolls around.
And I totally agree with that. Luka's got to be in better shape. There's no doubt about that. And he needs to learn to spell defense as well. I mean, he needs to learn how to do that because, quite frankly, he doesn't. And I'm just looking at the box score from last night. So he actually played 8 guys last night. And still, Austin Reeves plays 41, Doncic 40, LeBron 40. I mean, every single game, these guys are 40 plus. And I don't care. We all agree LeBron James is in great shape. He was gassed last night. He was gassed. So you can blame Luka all you want to. But even the guys that are in the greatest of shape, they were gassed because it's just you've got to manage their minutes. Can you imagine if the Lakers had won this series, or if this thing goes to a game 7 and they win it? They're going to have nothing left for the second round.
No, and again, for a team with the 3 seed, and I saw an article on ESPN.com earlier talking about the Lakers' first-round exit was costly to a lot of bettors. And I think, the Cowboy effect, the Laker effect, the LeBron effect, you just thought this team was going to make a deeper run than have a first-round exit. So a lot of questions. And one of the biggest questions will start with LeBron James. And it's fair at this point in his career, at this age, how much longer does he want to play in the NBA?
I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. Something I sit down with my family, my wife, and my support group and kind of just talk through it and see what happens. And just have a conversation with myself on how long I want to continue to play. I don't know the answer to that right now, to be honest. So let me see.
Look, I think he's probably going to continue to play. I mean, I think he played at a high level, but it is a fair question to ask a guy like LeBron James at this point in time in his career. How much longer are you going to play? And that's the case. So that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Here,
Yeah.
come on in. Come on in. Yes.
So it's what we do. It's live radio
It is live
here
radio.
In the fan shop here at the Rocket Lock on Terra for Taste of the Northside. And because I know you're busy, we're just going to do this now.
Here,
Katrina Campbell,
Yes,
the
there we
CEO of Brighton Center, saved her phone and everything. Nothing wrong with that. Pull that a little bit clear. There you go.
Perfect.
Man, it looks great out here.
Doesn't it? I'm so excited.
I mean, the calm before the storm.
You've seen a lot of Taste of the Northside setups. So what do you think so far?
This might be the best location. Just seeing it, just with the where the tents are, the food and drink stations, the proximity for Joe, where the restroom is.
Perfect,
I mean, you got everything figured out here.
And you're kind of in like Spurs territory, so that doesn't hurt either,
Yes.
right?
No, that doesn't hurt at all. And what I like, it's all kind of condensed. I mean, you don't have to, it's not all spread out, and it's all right here, and you can be able to sample and do everything.
You can, and it's the best restaurants. I think
Yeah.
we have the best lineup of restaurants that we've ever had. So I think we've got over 50. So if you want a taste of San Antonio, you got to come taste the Northside.
When you look at, and we'll go over some of the restaurants in a moment, but the idea that you get all these restaurants that come out here, and the food, the sampling, and the fact that once you're in, you don't reach for your wallet ever again, which is the best part of this. But all the money does go to Brighton Center. And for those that are unfamiliar, and you're the CEO of Brighton Center, tell us about Brighton Center.
So Brighton Center is one of the largest organizations in San Antonio serving children with special needs. We have speech, occupational, physical therapy. We go to you if you're 0 to 3 years old, and then, or you can come to us as you get older. We also have 2 inclusive preschool centers where kids with and without disabilities grow and learn together. And then we have special education advocates. So our whole goal is to get the more than 4,000 children we serve every year as ready for school as possible. Because if we can get them into school and they can be on the right track, their likelihood of being successful just skyrockets.
And this event plays a huge role in being able to do that, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. I think we have to raise about $3 million every year, and this event brings in a big portion of that.
A big portion of that. And you think about everything that you guys do. And for years, one of the best nonprofits in San Antonio, you guys win awards like that, best Fiesta events. Everything you guys do is always top of the level. But I think it's partly the work that you're doing, and you guys do it well.
Well, our kids deserve the best, right? They deserve the best. Our staff deserves the best. So we try to put our best foot forward in every single thing that we do.
When you look out here and you see some of the restaurants that are out here, some of the drink station, the spirits, the beer, the wine, and it's some of the best in San Antonio. And these folks do this because they know that they're helping a great cause as well, don't they?
Absolutely. It feels like mi familia, right? This is not cheap for restaurants to do, and this is not cheap for our beer and wine partners. They do it because I think they like the camaraderie, but they do it because they know it's supporting kids in their community. And so every year we're like, are we going to be able to get as many restaurants as we did? And we never have a problem. But I think we've got some that have actually been doing this for over 15 years.
Which is incredible. And then there's new restaurants as well. And, it's funny because I see some of my favorites, but then I see like, I've never heard of them, or I've heard of them, but I haven't been there. And that's one of the cool things at events like this is, while you can go to a place that you are familiar with, it's better when you go try somebody else's samplings. And what I do appreciate, most people here show up with good stuff, not, it's our sign, but here's a loaf of bread.
No, you're getting ceviche, you're getting paella, you're getting steak kebabs. We love normal Fiesta where you're getting things on a stick, but that's not this. That's not this event. This event is very, very high-end food.
No doubt. Everything out here is high end, and that's the beauty of it. You come in, you can sample everything, the wine, the beer, all of that stuff. And it's a fun event. It's one of those events that you can just kind of leisurely walk through and visit with people and just have a good time.
Well, tell me about the other Fiesta events you guys go to, and if there's lines.
Yes.
Are there lines here?
No.
There's no lines, right?
No.
You get to actually, you also have to just pace yourself.
Yes.
Because you will.
And Joe doesn't know what that means.
It's not as much fun to pace yourself, but to really get a feel for everything, you got to take your time.
It is an incredible event. I know I've been coming to this for years. It's my favorite Fiesta event every year. For being here at the Rock at La Cantera new, and you guys put this on, what for you new are you most excited about?
I'm excited at the way everything's at the same level, but it still feels really interesting. And I love all the different components that the Rock has: the big screen and the built-in stage, the water park, the sidecars that are bars. It's super interesting. I love being able to see. It feels like we're in the middle of the city. I love it. And then, we've got premier tickets available where you can go up and be a part of the Spurs Club experience, which is really cool for some of our ticket holders.
And you got a band tonight too, right?
We do. I think they're called the Groove Edge or something like that. But they just play great cover music, right?
Yeah, that's it. Party music.
Yeah, party music.
Everybody knows. They will play every song they play. Everybody's going to know.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if you've seen the HEB tent yet, but they're setting up, and HEB brings it every year. I don't know how they do it, but they bring it every year. So I'm really excited to see.
Well, that's been, because we've been on the air since 2, got here about 1-ish. And just even what it looked like, a couple hours ago to what it looks like now to what it will look like in an hour and a half. It's amazing how much work gets done to set up for an event like this. Now, you as the CEO, are you trying to hide and look busy, or what's the goal for you, Katrina, right now?
So, I first met Brighton doing this event for Outside the Box, our amazing event planners, and now I don't have to do as much. And
you see Wendy and go the other way?
And I have earned my stripes. Let's say that I have done my fair of schlepping. So yeah, I kind of hide off in the corner, and it's kind of fun to show up. I don't know what to expect, and they do an incredible job. This is going to be a great year.
Do you get to participate and go out and try some of this stuff as well?
I literally just told one of my staff members I'm going to work my tail off till 8:30.
and
then
get
I'm
out
done.
there.
And then I'm going to enjoy
All right.
a little bit. So, yeah.
Nice.
8:30.
8:30. That's late.
Work hard till about 6:20.
Yeah.
What are you
Okay,
talking
well,
about?
Okay, I'm going to make you the boss of me.
Well,
My boss just said 6:30.
You know me. If I see you, you will have a drink in your hand.
Yes.
I do.
Right?
I
That
appreciate
you know, we don't have to wait till 8:30.
Sounds kind of lame, doesn't it?
It is fiesta. At some point, take the CEO hat off and say, all right, once doors are open, I'm kind of done. I'm kind of done. Now, for people that want to come out that, San Antonio waits till the last minute, I know earlier there were some tickets left. It wasn't completely sold out. Go online and check, because if you show up here, if tickets are sold out, you're SOL. We're not letting you in.
Yeah, we're getting really close, but there are some tickets available. Our Spurs Club experience is sold out, but there's some general admission tickets, and there are still discount codes available. If you go to our Facebook page, you can get a $50 discount code, but it does start at 6. So if you haven't bought your tickets yet, you should probably get on that.
So
and make a plan.
people do that.
Yeah.
Is our discount
Yes.
code, is Blitz 50 still working or not?
Your code
maybe
should be working.
I don't know. Pay full freight. It goes to the Brighton Center.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's the penalty. That's the penalty for not buying in advance.
But if you can save $50, what the heck?
Why
Oh,
not?
that's true.
Right.
And you're buying 2, so that's 100.
Yes.
I mean, it's easy.
It's a big, well, and I think, when some people see the cost of the tickets, a little bit of a sticker shock, but once you come and experience it, and if you kind of add up what you spend at a normal Fiesta event, this is not a bad bargain.
Because once you're in here, you don't reach for your wallet again.
You don't. And you're not many places you can try 50 different restaurants. I think we have over 50 different cocktails. Like we're bringing it.
Yeah.
We're bringing it. We're bringing the Fiesta heat.
Yes. And fortunately for us, we're inside the air-conditioned Spurs fan shop.
This has got to be your most favorite setup.
This is really, because we've been in a cart garage at Sonterra. I don't know where we were at the Dominion, but
somewhere outside roasting.
Yes,
probably.
yes, right near porta potties. So yeah, this is so much better.
We're trying to move you up.
And I look around, there's no porta potties here anywhere, right? Yeah, the bathroom over there.
Well, you can't see them, so that's a good thing. They're hidden. They are here.
Okay.
They are here. You're just not next to them, so you don't know what to do.
There is a full bathroom, like an event bathroom over there.
You're right.
So
you're right. We got restrooms under control here.
Yeah.
And that's one of the, let me back up. That is another one of the great things about the Rock. They have ample restrooms that are not in a porta potty.
Yeah, real porcelain. Yeah, wallpaper, real soap, real sinks when you're done. I mean,
nice.
It's everything here is first class.
I love that you noticed that, because you're not next to one this year. You're like, where's my home?
Well, we got to we have to scope that out. I mean, that's important.
Well, when you're on the air for 4 hours, I mean, you got to know where things are. I mean, priorities. I mean,
priorities.
Ryan Eagle can't go an hour without having to go make a visit.
Well, that's true. I mean, it happens. I don't know. Yeah, old age.
You guys, y'all have the best setup. I don't know how you can go back from this.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
You got to lock this in for forever.
Yeah, we will be here for the next 3 years. That is locked in. So we're really excited to call the Rock our new home for a while.
That is awesome. Well, have a great event tonight. Don't wait till 8:30 to have your first drink.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I don't even know if you need to wait till 5:30 to have your first drink.
What time are y'all off the air?
6.
Okay, I'll find you at 6. We'll have our first drink together.
5:50,
All right,
4:50 today. Yes.
Thank you guys for always
Appreciate
supporting
it.
us.
Thank you,
Really
Katrina.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Katrina Campbell, the CEO of Brighton Center. As she said, there are still some tickets that are available for tonight's Taste of the Northside. There's not a lot left. It always sells out. And again, you go to last minute and it will sell out. And, get over here. There's parking here. There's also a parking lot where there's shuttle service. All that info is online and it's free. But don't go to all that hassle and try to buy tickets at the door. Get them online in advance, because if you go to checkout and they say sold out, then
you've wasted your time coming down here.
Yeah.
So don't do that. Get them online. You got them already. That we don't have to worry about it. You just walk in.
Walk in.
Yeah.
Get
just
it
walk
done.
in.
Get it done.
Come on out and party with us. I mean, you just heard Katrina. She's going to have a drink with us at 6 o'clock.
Yes.
You can come in and have a drink with us at 6 o'clock or at 7 o'clock or again at 8 o'clock.
And at 9
all of the
o'clock
above.
and 10 o'clock.
Exactly right. So come on out and party with us. I know some of you guys that are listening to us and girls have your tickets and you're coming out. But if you haven't, treat yourself. I promise you, if you come to this event once, you're going to want to come every year.
Absolutely. And you see Joe walking around in his pocket, you will find a Fiesta medal that will be yours.
It's right here, right now. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. These are pretty schwanky. And again, these are the real ones, not the fake ones that the morning show has.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. If you got one from AJ, well, you're kind of screwed. But if you get one from me, it's the real deal.
Exactly. I mean, I think the one AJ has is from when we were on 94.5. Now we're on 94.1.
Probably
it's such
so.
a big,
exactly.
big difference.
You might have gotten that out of a box of Cheerios.
And it is Fiesta time, and we all know everybody wants to go party with a purpose, and nobody plans on going to a Fiesta event and then going to jail. But it is Fiesta, and it happens every year and every day. A lot of people get arrested. Our friends at AA Best Bail Bonds want you to call an Uber. They don't want you to get into a fight, but they understand it's Fiesta. Things happen, and if you do get arrested or a family member, a friend of yours gets arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, leaving a Fiesta event, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Friday on the Morning Huddle, Fiesta Friday. Show me your shoes and shake your Coscarotis. It's going to be a good weekend. We'll get ready. After a couple of Game 6s Thursday night, we have Game 7s and a whole weekend to look forward to. Plenty to talk about. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
What? All the budget has to be used now? And we can use all the media buy?
Javier's marketing firm just got its dream funding.
Okay, ideas. Bobbleheads? No. T-shirt cannon? I seriously need some help here.
He needs to find marketing managers who are worth every dollar.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Sponsoring a job on Indeed gives it a visibility boost so you can hire faster. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the lake or clean out your closet? RV wins! Putting the dishes away or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Cleaning the fridge or taking a trip to the beach? RV wins!
You might want to clean the fridge real quick because, mold.
We clean out the fridge, then take the RV out.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
McConaughey, how long did it take you to write that rhyme up? That's not off the top of your head.
Oh, you caught that, didn't you?
You're really taking this serious.
Yeah, no, I write these things out beforehand, and then I deliver them as if they are impromptu.
Yeah.
Tap it, putting it down. Putting it down.
Thank you, Matt
McConaughey. All right.
Good to have you again.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
An accident can leave you struggling to pay for medical bills. At Thomas J. Henry, we believe you deserve justice no matter your financial situation. That's why you don't pay us unless we win your case. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Hereeth my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, a San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. We got a pair of tickets to give away right now to go see Eclipse, a tribute to Journey, at the Aztec Theater next Saturday, May 10th. You want them? Caller number 9. Those tickets are yours. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you don't win the tickets, you can buy them at livenation.com, along with Eclipse, the tribute to Journey. You also have Fire and Ice on the bill, a tribute to Pat Benatar, and Rock of Ages, a tribute to the Legends of Rock. That'll be a fun night at the Aztec. Again, caller 9, those tickets are yours. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Now, as we sit here, he's Joe Reinagel, I'm Jason Minix. In the Spurs Pro Shop.
Yep, the fan shop, right?
Fan shop.
Yeah.
First day of May. Still nothing official from the San Antonio Spurs on the future of head coach Greg Popovich. What will his decision be? And first round of the playoffs, almost over. Will be by the end of the weekend if certain series go 7. No idea what the internal deadline is for Greg Popovich, obviously. But I would like to think now would be the time for Pop to have a personal decision. A front office, depending on how rehab's going, I'll let you know by when. Because the time is ticking if he's not going to be the head coach for them to go out and hire his replacement if he chooses to retire. And some of the big names out there, at some point in the next couple of weeks, I'd imagine you're going to hear that, Phoenix has made a hire, that, Denver, when their series is over, they're going to go make a hire. Memphis is going to go make a hire. And if the Spurs are interested in those available candidates, they have to know what Pop's thinking so that they, if they're interested, can do their due diligence and interview process.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And those jobs are going to get filled, and there's still some great candidates out there. And I wonder, when you look at it, where we are today, May 1st, the draft lottery is coming up on May 12th. So the fact that a decision hasn't been made right now doesn't bother me that much. Once the draft lottery is concluded and the Spurs know where they're going to pick, I think that kind of ratchets things up a little bit. And look, if it's Greg Popovich and his intention is to come back or give it a try or whatever the case may be, God bless him. I hope he can do that, because I think he's deserved that. He deserves that. If that's what he can do and physically he can do it, then let's go for it. Let's rock. But if it's not, they've got to know that too, so they can get somebody in. Look, I don't know Mitch Johnson personally. I'm sure he's going to be a fine coach one day. But I just don't think he's ready to take over this franchise. Not with what is all on the line right now. I think you need an experienced coach to do that. If it's Greg Popovich, great. If it's not, go out and hire the best available coach.
Most Spurs fans that I talk to believe that Pop will not be back. And mentally, he has been a part of our lives for 2 decades.
Yep.
And mentally, I think most Spurs fans are expecting him not to be back in whatever mental processes they go through to accept that fact and who's next. So I ask a question, and I don't want this to sound too insensitive. At Joe Reinagel 210, at Jason Minix, or 656-3776. At this point, would you even be excited if Pop said, I'm going to go one more year? And I say that every announcement that he has had since the stroke, which I believe there's been 2, they've all indicated that his intention is to return to coaching the San Antonio Spurs.
Right.
But anybody that's been around anybody that has suffered a stroke, I think realizes what a difficult task that would be just to go back to your normal job, let alone coaching an NBA team in your 70s with the hours and the travel that's involved. And then, like you said, I mean, Wemby will be going into year 3. You got 2 lottery picks. Who knows where they're going to be? But how many more years do you expect Greg Popovich to coach after next year? And I truly believe, and I've said this since we learned of the stroke, him coming back is probably his biggest motivator while attacking his rehab process. And you certainly don't want to take that carrot away. But at the same time, is it smart for the organization at this point to allow him to have that decision-making process?
Well, I think you're in a situation where you've got a legend, right? You've got a head coach that's a Hall of Famer. You got a head coach that has done so much for this franchise. And I think you're in a situation where it has to be his idea, his choice. And at some point in time, look, he's going to know whether he can do it or not. All right. I mean, and I don't know how his rehab is going. I'm not sure anybody does outside of the Spurs organization. But if it's going well enough that he feels like he can give it a go, and is it 1 more year? Is it 2 more years? Is it 5 more years? You know, that does become the question. But I know he wants to be a part of rebuilding this franchise and rebuilding this basketball team. And that has really started, and it's kicked into high gear. Just with the trade for De'Aaron Fox tells me this franchise is ready to go, and they're ready to put the pieces necessary in place to get this thing going. Would Greg Popovich be better off in the front office making those decisions or on the sidelines with what he has to do there? And that's got to be the choice, and it absolutely has to be Pop's choice. And I truly believe in my heart of hearts, Jason, that he has the best interest of this franchise in mind. And it's not going to be about Greg Popovich when push comes to shove.
Well, let me ask you this then. From that mindset, we're talking about Greg Popovich. How many athletes have you covered in your career that you felt like it was over, but they wanted to go for another year?
Sure.
They wanted to go for another 2 years. And then they're, quote unquote, the shell of their former selves. I think it's very easy to assume Greg Popovich would make the decision that's in the best interest of the organization, especially if we're talking about somebody that's not Greg Popovich. But selfishly, can he make that decision about himself? A lot of athletes can't. A lot of athletes can say, yeah, that guy, he probably should have stopped a year ago, yet you had 1 more year and you signed with another team and you went and did this, that, or the other. I just wonder if Greg Popovich, who's probably had tough conversations with a lot of players through the years, could have that same tough conversation with himself, because he is a competitor and he wants to do this. So while I agree with you, he wants what's in the best interest of the organization, but can he look at it objectively when talking about his own career, especially knowing that's probably what his main motivator is right now through his rehab process? I just wonder if he would make that decision on his own. Can he make that decision on his own? It's so difficult internally for you to say, yep, I think I'm done. You know, even LeBron James last night, I got to think about it, but I also have to talk to the people around me.
Right.
I need to get their input. I'm curious, the people that are giving him input, how honest they are being and how honest he would be with himself. What I would really like to see happen at this point is Greg Popovich steps down as head coach, but remains as president of basketball operations. His fingerprints will be all over it. And if he were to say, I'm retired and I'm moving to Hawaii or wherever his vineyards are, cool, dude, the cupboard is full. You know, 5 years ago, it was empty. and not the right time for him to leave the organization. Now the cupboard is full.
Look, I think R.C. Buford and Pop have been together long enough that I think it leans on R.C., and R.C. is not going to be afraid to tell Pop anything. I don't think so. And I think there's others within the organization that have that ability as well. If Pop thinks he can go and others feel differently about it, I think all of that is being said. I think all of that is being talked about. I just can't believe that there hasn't been any conversation about that at all. And I believe that there has. And if Pop still feels like maybe he's getting better and he'd like to give it a go, it'd be hard for me, or it'd be hard, I think, for the Spurs organization to say, no, you just can't do it, and we're gonna pull you. I still believe in my heart of hearts that Pop will, when push comes to shove, will have the best interest of this franchise in mind, and he will make the right decision. If he thinks he's the right decision, the right guy to lead this team, then and he can do it. Because look, the worst thing that's going to happen if he thinks that and he gets into the season and something else happens, that's the worst thing that could happen. And so I'm with you at this point in time. I don't want Pop to retire. I want him to have his fingerprints on this basketball team, but it might be time to pass that torch to somebody else.
Well, again, I mean, I know it's different circumstances and it's a long time ago, but I see what Pat Riley has done in Miami. Now, obviously, Pat Riley has had a long run as a suit type and not a coach. You look at Brad Stevens in Boston. You're still involved, but you're not coaching. And to your point, you wonder every time, and Pop has missed games because of illness or other things through the years. And think about this. When he had the stroke, it was Pop isn't feeling well that night. Nobody questioned it.
Right.
Because that's happened before. And so just the fear of and the what ifs, you're just, I don't know. And again, for how many more years, with this offseason, with these draft picks and whatever other moves that they make, I'd like to see a fresh beginning at head coach. And it's weird because 3 months ago, I thought he was coming back. And the longer this has taken, the longer he has stayed out of public eye. The only public thing that he's done that anybody's aware of since the stroke was passing out at a restaurant and having to leave by ambulance. And, it's just like, yeah.
It's a sad situation to have a coach that has meant so much to an organization, has done so much for an organization, to go out on terms that aren't his own. And unfortunately, life happens, and it happens to all of us. This was not something Pop was planning on or expected. And so, but it happens. It is life, and that's what happens. And, just being around Pop, for as long as I have, and as long as you have, that Greg Popovich has always been a guy that never wanted the attention. He never wanted the accolades. And he always pushed that aside and gave it to Timmy, and he gave it to Manu, and he gave it to Tony and everybody else. And I just have to believe that mindset is still there. And again, he's going to do what is best for this organization. And again, we can sit here and speculate all we want. I'm sure Greg Popovich wants to come back. I'm sure he would like to come back. It's just going to be a matter of physically can he do it? Because think about it. For a healthy man, getting on an airplane 41 times in a season or whatever the case may be, and traveling, and the film study you've got to do and the game planning you've got to do. I mean, it's not an 8 to 5 job. It's a long day every single day of a basketball season, and you got to be physically fit and ready to do it.
And the stress and everything. And I'll use something that Sean Elliott told us before here on the Blitz. Sean talks, right? Just the planes, the hours of those flights, game is over. You go straight to the airport. You get to your next spot 3 or 4 in the morning, whatever it is, bus, get to your room, a little bit of sleep, eat, you're up early, shoot around, back-to-backs. I mean, there's no load management for coaches like there is for players. And you see the toll that it could take on, a broadcaster. Think about the stress then of coaching. And again, not the way I thought it would go. But at this point, my mindset is he's no longer going to be the head coach of the Spurs, and it's just when are we going to find that announcement? But now I'm starting to, all right, well, what if Pop still thinks he can do it and decides he wants to come back? Because the longer it takes for the organization to make anything public, the more you have to wonder, is Pop actually thinking he can come back and do this?
Yeah, it's interesting. We're getting some comments on our YouTube page. Bill Simmons says his dad had a stroke and returning to work was his motivation, but he was just never able to do it. And then David Macias says he had a stroke in 2016, and you don't get over health issues at a certain age. I've never experienced that personally or with any of my family members, and so I don't know. And so I don't know what Pop is doing and what he's going through, but I know that his motivation, he loves the game. He loves this team. And so obviously he wants to be a part of that and to rebuild this team. And I know he's always wanted to do that. And so the foundation is in place right now. So I think walking away now, if he chose to do that, there's no shame. They got the foundation in place, and I want Pop involved in the future of this team in some form or fashion moving forward. And so, but I'm not sure that coaching is that way forward.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. There are 2 elimination games tonight. We'll talk about it coming up here on the Blitz. And you think about those elimination games, want to make those more exciting to watch, download the Underdog app and play the Pick'em game and take advantage of their extender promos where you can play your way to increasingly bigger boosts each game of the playoffs. So your game 1 boost then turns into a game 2 boost and so on. So tonight you got a couple of game 6 boosts if you've been playing all along. If not, jump in on the fun because Underdog is one of the leading sports apps, one of the best places to make your sports picks. And all you have to do is download the app and choose in the Pick'em game whether a player is going to go higher or lower on predicted stats. And you could play for as little as $1. Download the Underdog app. When you sign up, use my promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, promo code STAR at Underdog.
Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska. Present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
KTFM Floresville. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Blitz. 2 to 6 on YouTube and always at sasportstar.com.
You know, the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
You've decided to divorce. I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you're worried about getting the bills paid, childcare, and your divorce, we'll help make it simple, painless, and affordable.
Your future matters. Call the law office of Steve Benke.
Call 210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ, J-O-E-Q, to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Made in America, highest quality. That's Connecticut Quality Water Softeners. There's a reason Dave Ramsey says a Connecticut is a wise investment for your home.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it.
It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country. 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
ConnecticutSA.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the LA Lakers season came to an end last night. LeBron James was asked if he planned to continue playing next season. He responded with, quote, "I just can't answer that right now." The Indiana Pacers have banned the father of Tyrese Halliburton from Pacers games indefinitely after he charged Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo after the Pacers closed out the Bucks. Cowboys waived 4 players yesterday, including running back Malik Davis.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. We're at the Rocket Lock Ontario, specifically inside the Spurs fan shop, site of Taste of the Northside, which is happening tonight.
But I tell you what, it looks like they're just about ready to roll here. We're about an hour away from the gates opening, and it looks like everybody's ready to roll. Final touches being put on everything, but for all intents and purposes, it looks like it's ready.
And again, samples should be ready here in the next 20 or 30 minutes.
I think so.
That's one thing that, somebody asked me the other day. They're not giving you samples at 2 and then serving them till 7. No, dude. I mean, and it's funny because people are out here, they set up the tents and their booths and stuff, and then you see vehicles arrive with the good stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm looking over here to my left, Jason. It's the Texas Roadhouse. They've got their pans and the fire is burning underneath them. I can see the fire waves going. So it's just a matter of time until they get ready to go. And we can just walk right outside there and grab some.
Fire waves.
Well, yeah. What do you call them? Heat waves?
Flame.
No, I don't see a flame, but I see those heat waves. You see what I mean? Yeah.
Sure.
It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Look to your right.
Uh-huh. What, Greg Shelton?
No. Look beyond the pillar, my friend.
Oh, yeah. The shininess is starting to take effect. Is that what you're talking about?
Huh?
The shininess effect.
Even yes. Greg's about to break his neck.
Yeah, he is. He sure is.
She's digging in that cooler for something.
She's digging in what?
That cooler.
Oh, that cooler. Okay, I got you. No, I don't know.
It's definitely hard.
Yeah, there's a lot of people walking around here. I don't know if they're just checking out other booths or what, but everybody's ready to roll, man. This is cool.
It's my favorite Fiesta event. Get your tickets. Benefits the Brighton Center, which does incredible work here in San Antonio. So if you don't already have them, see if there's any available. Excuse me. Any available online, and if there is, buy them. And we'll see you out here. Reach in Joe's pocket and get him Fiesta medal a little bit later.
Come on out and party with us because we're going to stick around for a while and enjoy the festivities. So if you got a ticket, come find us. We'll have a drink together and have some fun out here. This is a fun event. It's going to be rocking here in about an hour or so.
The NBA has a couple of elimination games tonight. Pledge, sorry, I'm trying to get on the YouTube chat, but the internet's you're not doing so well.
Yeah.
And at some point I'm going to quit trying.
Yeah.
I love when it says something went wrong. No bleep, computer. When you look at it and you sit there and you look at the games tonight, and you got a couple of elimination games. I want to see. I love Game 7s, right? Who doesn't love Game 7s? But I expect the Clippers to roll easily past Denver tonight. That one will go 7. For whatever reason, I feel the opposite with the Knicks. And the Knicks team, it's not like they're overly impressive. They do dumb things. I like Detroit, but I just kind of feel like tonight New York's going to close that thing out on the road.
I just have no trust in New York, none whatsoever. And look, whoever wins that series, they get to go to Boston. So that's the prize that's waiting for either team there. So I don't think either team survives that anyway. However, I just don't trust New York. I really don't. And I think Detroit's got a fighter's chance in this thing. Now, look, they've got to force a Game 7. It's going to be very difficult if that happens to win a Game 7 at Madison Square Garden. But I like this Detroit team, and I think that's a team that the East is going to have to deal with certainly the next few years to come. They're a young team, they're a hungry team, and they're ready to roll.
And again, you look at just seeing that, most of the first round series weren't overly great and they were quick, and you kind of get that in the first round. Although you did have a 6 knockoff of 3 last night with Minnesota finishing off in 5 games the Los Angeles Lakers.
Kind of looked like the other way around, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did.
Minnesota looked like the 3 seed.
Well, and you look at Minnesota as a 6 seed, they were kind of disappointing all year.
Yep.
And then what we saw last year, that team shows up against the Lakers.
Yeah, no doubt. Minnesota played well, and Anthony Edwards, I tell you what, that dude is something. And he played well. How far can they go remains to be seen. But I tell you what, with the team that they've got and the way they played against the Lakers, I think they've got a chance. It's been a good play. Like I say, there's been really 2 series that have been good, and that's the Clippers and the Nuggets, and Detroit and New York. Those have been the 2 best series thus far. So, yeah, I'd like to see both of those games go 7.
It's I think one will. I'd like to see them both. But then again, the Denver Clippers series has been one of the harder series to figure out. It's hard to get a pulse from either one of those teams. You just don't know what you're going to get night in, night out. You don't know what you're going to get from Joker night in, night out for a guy that is in the MVP conversation.
Well, look, he played well, but in Game 5, it was Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy played his tail off, and they made a bunch of threes. They made 17 threes in that game. And obviously that's not going to happen every night, but that's what they did. That's what they do. And look, Jamal Murray seems to step it up in the playoffs. Whatever you think of Jamal Murray regular season, playoff Jamal Murray is a different animal. So they're playing well right now, Denver is, and they've kind of, I guess, adjusted to their situation and the new head coach. And Russell Westbrook has been playing well for them, or he certainly did last game. You never know what you're going to get from that guy, but last game he played well, and if they get that kind of effort out of Westbrook and Murray and Joker, they're going to be a tough team to beat.
It's going to be interesting to see what all happens. Let's talk some NFL coming up. Our good friend John McClain will join us, talk some Texans, talk NFL in general a week after the NFL draft as we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're dealing with any issues at your house with your plumbing, your AC, you know there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899, 651-5899. At Quartermoon, experts at worst case scenarios, big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission. Sales reps, they'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau, and at Quartermoon, they are green certified. Now, you know with your AC, the hot summer months are right around the corner. Great maintenance programs ensure your unit is ready for every season, and right now, Quartermoon is running a pre-summer AC inspection for $58.99. They'll come out and inspect your capacitor, indoor coil, outdoor coil filter, check all all the proper temperature levels. So call Quarter Moon at 210-651-5899 and get that scheduled at 651-5899 or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
If you travel as much as the San Antonio sports guys travel, while you're on the road, be sure to take us along. Listen to the 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star live stream anywhere on the Odyssey radio app.
Gentlemen, testosterone levels can start dropping in your 30s, leading to low energy, reduced libido, and slower metabolism. Rock's Discount Vitamins is making it easy to take back control. No appointments and no prescriptions. Just head into a Rock's and walk out with a natural solution tailored to you. Our powerful line of natural testosterone boosters can help increase energy, build muscle, rev up your metabolism, and reignite your drive. You'll feel the difference and fast. Visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God in South Texas.
Listen up, San Antonio. At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can get college credit for the stripes you've earned. Turn your military rank into college credit to save time and money on an online degree. Eligible enlisted service members and previously enlisted veterans may receive up to 12 credits for select undergraduate courses based on their rank, and up to 90 credits in total for prior learning, military experience, and training. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu/SATX.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this. The insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
This is Andrew Monaco, and the Aggies play here. 94.1, San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm at Jason Minix. We're in the Spurs Pro Shop here at the Rocket Lock Ontario as we get ready for Taste of the Northside tonight. One of the best, my favorite Fiesta events. Going to be a great time. And if you're heading this way, come see us here in the Spurs Shop, which is nice indoors, air conditioning. The only problem for Reinagel is the bathroom was way down yonder.
I'm telling you, I got in all my steps walking over there and then walking back. It's a long way, man. Shelton, I don't know what you're thinking. Our engineer, Greg Shelton, he usually puts us really close.
Well, I mean, would you want to be inside air conditioning or closer to the restroom?
I'm fine.
Yeah, you're fine. Although you missed it, some dude named Joe that works at the HEB tent just came by here. He wanted to reach in your pocket and get a Fiesta medal. He said that.
You know, not just everybody can do that.
Joe can.
Well, Joe can.
That Joe can. He was very disappointed your pockets weren't here.
Did you give him one?
Yeah, Greg Shelton hooked him up.
All right, good.
Absolutely.
Good
Greg
deal.
said you can reach into my pocket.
He is smoking a cigarette over there. I guess that was pretty good.
Yeah, you know how it goes. John McClain joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Let's talk some NFL with the General. John, how's your Thursday, sir?
My Thursday's been great. Speaking of bathrooms, somebody asked me about the Cowboys draft, and I said, well, the draft was really good. They said, so Jerry did a good job. I said, no. I heard Jerry had to go to the bathroom, and they locked him in, and that's why their draft was so good. If y'all have any confirmation about that?
I cannot
I
tell
haven't
you
heard that. No,
about his bathroom habits. Although, you know, they did take a guard and not a shiny object in a wide receiver, so there could be some truth to that. I don't know that you'd want to confirm it. Although it was kind of interesting during the draft. Was it the dude that went to the Browns, the running back from Ohio State, was in the bathroom when they called him?
Yeah.
Well, in all seriousness, they got a really good corner too. I was very impressed with what the Cowboys did.
You know, I think so, John. But you know, it's on paper, right? And it looks good on paper. And I think you can say that about every team. You like what you did, but then time will tell whether these guys work out or not. I've heard a lot of people say the same thing about the Houston Texans. What were your thoughts on their draft?
They needed an offensive tackle and a wide receiver. They got receivers with two of their first three picks, and an offensive tackle with the other one, and then they got a running back from USC, Woody Marks, in the fourth round. That's the one I'm most excited to see because I went in and started watching what he did. I've never seen a running back catch 83 passes in a season and not play part wide receiver. When he was at Mississippi State, he caught 83 passes. Sophomore caught 47 last season for USC, and I really like him. The two receivers from Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel from Iowa State, pro-style offense, both had over 1,100 yards. Higgins playing opposite Nico Collins, both of them 6'4", running the 4.4s. C.J. Stroud has got to be ecstatic. And to get the Big Ten Offensive Lineman of the Year in Ariante Usry, that was a good pick too. So I like what the Texans did. Nick Caserio, boy, the fans were downtown all fired up by the convention center. Second year in a row, boom, number one pick's gone, and they don't have anything to celebrate. But overall, I gave them a B+.
Yeah, and I think that's a fair grade. Now, you look at the Texans and what they did last year, and now this year it seems like the AFC South has gotten a lot better. Travis Hunter, you're going to see 2 times a year when you play Jacksonville. Cam Ward, quarterback at Tennessee. I liked what Indianapolis was able to do with their draft. Overall, I think the AFC South got better. How do you rate the Texans in the division?
Well, they should run away with it again like they have the last 2. Well, they didn't run away with it 2 years ago. The division's terrible. Titans were the worst team in the league. One rookie quarterback's not going to make. It's not like he's Jaden Daniels and they're loaded with players around them. And I also think Indy still has quarterback issues. You got 2. You don't know if they can play. I think they'll be in market for a quarterback next season. And Jacksonville, I believe, will be the team closest to the Texans. They could win 7 or 8 games, and Travis Hunter is going to be fascinating to watch because we don't know Where they're going to play him, I don't know if they know where they're going to play him.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see, John. And I think everybody is, I don't know. I think he should play wide receiver and maybe, I don't know, on some special plays or something on defense. I don't know. I just think he can make more money playing wide receiver, put it that way in the long run. But looking at that trade, John, I really think Jackson, and I know Travis Hunter's a great player, but, boy, they certainly paid a lot for him.
They did, and they gave up a number 1 pick next year. You don't know where it is, and you don't know if Cleveland will do anything good with it. The Browns will be looking for a quarterback again, and the Browns had a really good draft till they got to the 5th round. But I think if you could get the only guaranteed superstar in Travis Hunter who could help you in more than one way, I thought it was a great move for the Jaguars, and he's going to be the most interesting rookie to watch, although I think Ashton Genty will be the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year.
I agree with that. No, you think about Jacksonville with what they gave up, I expect at least early on he's going to be playing both ways because he wasn't the best receiver or the best defensive back. He was the best unicorn, and you move up to get him, you got to keep him as a unicorn. Now, you just said something about the Browns had a great draft until the 5th round. Doesn't seem like you're high on the Shedeur Sanders pick.
Well, Jimmy Haslam, everybody up there said made him take him. They already had Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round. You got Joe Flacco, 40, didn't play well for Indy last year. You got Kenny Pickett on his 3rd team in 3 years. The other 2 didn't want him. Then you got Dylan Gabriel, who's 5'11", but has a great arm. And then you have Sanders. You're going to have to keep 4 quarterbacks on your roster because you can't put one on the practice squad. They'll get claimed on waivers. So they might have to cut Flacco or Pickett if one of those backups is ready to be the backup. And it was pretty clear when they showed head coach Kevin Stefanski barely clapping and general manager Andrew Berry looking like he was being held hostage in the Middle East that they did not make that pick. And I think Shedeur Sanders, when you're walking around with a Louis Vuitton bag with $1 million in it at your party with Legendary and your retired jersey and all that, that's fine. It hurt him. All these stories are coming out. Ross Tucker said today when he was doing Colorado State, he's supposed to have Shedeur in a production meeting. He didn't show up. He goes outside, sees him in the back of a pickup truck. No explanation. Those kind of things, you just can't do it. Hopefully, getting away from his daddy will be the best thing that's ever happened to him. But I do believe if he's going to be successful in the NFL, it will be with another team and not the Browns.
It could be, John, but I look at it like this. I think if he had to go to a team, I think the Browns are a perfect opportunity for him. If he's as good as he thinks he is, I don't see any reason why he doesn't win that starting job. I mean, Joe Flacco's on his last leg. Kenny Pickett can't do anything. I mean, what do you think?
Well, if he's as good as he thinks he is, he'll be in the Hall of Fame after next season. The problem is, how do you go from being 4th team? They like Dylan Gabriel more than him. How many reps is he going to get in practice? All of them are with a new team, so they're all going to need reps. Even backup quarterbacks don't get reps. And he's going to be under the gun, of course, because every throw he makes in preseason practice, it's going to be charted by the media because the media can watch all of training camp. And how he answers questions will be a big deal. His dad needs to stay out of it, stay off social media, not stirring up controversy up there. But to me, it's the most dysfunctional quarterback team in the NFL. And I may be wrong. I don't think he has a prayer of starting there. And another reason it was a bad pick, you got to have a great arm there because you're right on Lake Erie.
No,
and he does not have a great arm.
He
should have gone somewhere else.
I mean, from the environment standpoint, I agree with you 100%. From for a 5th round pick, he might have a chance if he gets enough reps. But let's go back. Jimmy Haslam made this pick and forced those guys to do it. And you've got a guy right now, a fifth rounder with the number one selling rookie jersey, and they haven't even issued him a number yet. Is Jimmy going to force him to start because he's exciting? Apparently, Browns fans are excited to have yet another quarterback that they will eventually get to add to their graveyard.
That's a good way to put it. I don't think Jimmy Haslam would even do that. All that money's distributed anyway with all the teams. I went there when Johnny Football was a rookie, his first preseason. They had a scrimmage in Akron. I couldn't get within 10 feet of him to ask him a question. And that's the way it's going to be with Shador. And then people say, oh, yeah, don't you want to talk to our starter? There's not going to be another quarterback room that's going to be more fascinating than that one, unless it's North Carolina and we have Coach Jordan in there with the offensive coordinator and the quarterback coach trying to tell the quarterback how to play.
John, you brought it up, and so I'm going to go with it. That has got to be the strangest story that I've seen in a long time, and it just gets stranger every day. What is your take on the Bill Belichick story?
Joe, I could not get enough of it today. I'm sick of Shador Sanders like everybody else, so I was reading everything I could. And the most interesting new development, his son Steve, the defensive coordinator, who Jordan told the media relations staff how to talk about him like she's got experience in that, so people wouldn't refer to him as Bill's son, which they've done his whole coaching career in New England. His wife weighed in, ripping her on social media. Can you imagine those family dinners?
No.
Trying to figure out how a regular dinner is between Bill and a 24-year-old. Although one of the interesting things I read today is she's got to type her 64-year-old ex that she dropped to go with Bill talks highly of her, and she's, well beyond her years as far as intelligence and holding conversations. That, and did you read about what her mom does for a living?
What does her mom do?
Her mom in Cape Cod runs a sex toy shop and museum.
Maybe that's where they met. They didn't want to admit it. One other thing about that situation, I don't care if he's 73 and he's 24, but letting her get involved in everything, the Athletic had it, all those emails. The Athletic said she was the reason the Hard Knocks didn't work. We saw about CBS. He's got a book appearance on May the 6th at NYU, and it's hosted by a friend of his. So there won't be any controversy, but it's going to be great if some of those kids have their cell phones up and they show her whether she's off to the side or sitting with the students. But I can't wait. I can't get enough of it. And when the season starts, if they don't win, that whole dysfunctional operation is going to get blamed, and he could be one and done.
No doubt about it. It's going to be fascinating to watch that thing. And I've already seen reports out there that, in some talking heads, John, saying that UNC needs to cut their losses now and just fire him.
I don't think they would do that. It's more than likely. Of course, he has control of everything. Michael Lombardi, his general manager, he can't like that. It's a distraction. Her being on the practice field has got to be a distraction. Can you imagine what his players are saying about it? That's just, can they talk to her? Is Bill going to be the jealous type if the quarterback's talking to her, she's talking to the quarterback? I would love to be able to go to their practices.
Aside from the obvious, as controlling as Bill Belichick has always been, how does he give up all the control?
He's never done it before. As somebody said, let me see how I can word this. In all the centuries of guys being whipped, he's at the top of the list.
There's no doubt about that. And it is so, that CBS interview was cringeworthy. John, I don't know if you saw that or not.
This whole story is cringeworthy.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. Everything is cringeworthy about it, and I doubt she's just going to disappear. And I can imagine what's being said behind the scenes, but obviously she's pushing his right buttons.
Yep. No doubt.
Pun intended. Absolutely. The great John McClain. Follow him on Twitter at McClain_on_NFL. And again, he reads everything on Bill Belichick. So not only an NFL expert, but Belichick relationship expert. And just add that to the Twitter bio, John.
Guys, if I was older than Bill, I'd think, well, maybe I could get her to ditch him and go with an older guy, but he and I are the same age.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Guessing his bank account's probably a little bit different, and that factors in. John, always appreciate it, my friend.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. John McClain on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com. More from the Rocket Lock on Terra as we get ready for a Taste of the Northside coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Friday on the Morning Huddle, Fiesta Friday. Show me your shoes and shake your Coscarotis. It's going to be a good weekend. We'll get you ready.
After a couple of game sixes Thursday night, we have game sevens and a whole weekend to look forward to. Plenty to talk about. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and have been representing people injured in auto and commercial truck collisions right here in San Antonio, my hometown, since 1994. Getting into a collision can be a life-altering event. Your health and recovery is the only thing that really matters, and anyone that's ever been injured in a traffic collision will tell you that. How do you get the insurance company to pay? Simple. Call me. As your attorney, my job is to get you through this. The decisions you make immediately after a collision are the most important decisions you can make. If you call me as soon as you can after a collision, I will help you make the right decisions for you and your family. Remember, I do not charge for a consultation. Growing up on the southwest side of San Antonio, when Loop 410 was the edge of town, I know how overwhelming it could be to face a giant insurance company all on your own. Just keep it simple. Call me. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website at lawyerforus.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. people who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix at the Rocket Lock on Terrace, specifically inside the Spurs fan shop. We're here for Taste of the Northside. Gates don't open for about 20 minutes, they say, but it feels like gates are open.
It does. When I was walking around out there on my hike to the bathroom, it looked like a lot of people were in here that don't belong to one of the booths.
Yeah.
So I think maybe they have, or they're special. I don't know.
Now, somebody sent me a message that said any Spur sighting. And I haven't seen a player, but we just saw one of the best PR guys in the NBA walk by.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Jordan Howenstein just walked by and waved to us. He didn't come in. I guess he thought we were busy. Well,
I mean, that or, doesn't talk to us, media types.
He's a great dude. I love that guy.
I will tell you this, though. If you're a Spurs fan and you're not following Jordan on Twitter, you're doing it wrong. At Airless Jordan.
That dude has got a shoe game that would put Rob Thompson to shame.
Don't
even try.
No.
He's got the best shoe game there is.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, Rob Thompson has an incredible shoe game.
He does.
But not many have a shoe game quite like Jordan.
No,
right?
Jordan is, he's a pro.
I mean, and there was a long time when Jordan was posting about his shoes, and you realize, all right, that's why you're single. But he found somebody that allows that, right?
Absolutely.
But again, though, his shoe game is NBA worthy. Rob Thompson, his shoe game is incredible, but nothing compared to what others have.
I think even Rob Thompson would concede to Jordan.
There's no doubt Rob would.
So
I mean, Rob's proud of his shoe game, but I mean, Rob doesn't have a room for his shoes.
But I tell you what, you talk about one of the nicest guys, and look, all of them. Tom, Chris, Jordan, all of them. But Jordan, that dude is just he's just a cool guy.
A very, very cool guy. Good to see him. Wish he would have come in and said hello.
Yeah, I wish he would have too.
He can't talk to us media types.
Sure he can.
I mean,
he never cared about that.
Are you kidding? There's live mics around here. All right.
We wouldn't have put him on the spot. Not at all.
No.
Good dude. Good dude.
He's a good dude. I'm surprised he's leaving. Or, I don't know, was he leaving? I mean, he probably just got off work.
He got off work, yeah.
Maybe drop his stuff in the car and then come back and enjoy Taste of the Northside.
Well, he might do that.
That's what he should do.
I've always wondered what those guys do when it's the off season. They had to get ready for the Stefan Castle press conference yesterday.
Yes.
But today, I don't know. And maybe.
And he's leaving work at a little after 5:30.
Boy, guy puts in a hard day.
Yeah. I mean, what does he do all day in the off season? It's not like he's got to get playoff game notes ready.
Well, he's got
next year. He better have to do that this time of year.
He's got to go buy shoes.
He might. But do you go buy shoes in person? You just order them online.
Well, he probably
get on the wait list. I mean, he's in the NBA. He might have a plug.
He's got a connection.
You think?
I guarantee he's got a connection. Yeah, he gets some of those good deals and the good shoes that the players get.
Yeah. So his shoe game isn't fair.
Well,
the benefits of the job.
Exactly.
Pay sucks, but here's shoes.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Good to see Jordan.
It was. But you're right. What the hell do they do all day in the off season?
Well, I'm sure they're doing something. I mean, who knows what they're preparing for? Look, you got the draft lottery coming up.
All right.
Right? That's coming up on the 12th. I'm not sure what kind of work they're doing for that. Maybe they're, that's a good question. They're doing something with that, I'm sure. And then, the draft coming up in June. So I don't know. I wish I could answer that. If Jordan was here, we could ask him.
We could ask him. What do you do this time of year?
Yeah.
And why are you working till 5:30ish?
Maybe he just got here at 4.
Yeah, corporate man.
Right.
8:30 to 5:30.
Got here at
just
4
always grinding.
Yeah, exactly.
He's looking up some of the most bizarre stats that you can come up with. And how he comes up with that stuff so quickly is just always amazing.
Well, I guarantee you need to follow him on Twitter because it's a very interesting and entertaining follow.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully this time next year, we're talking about the Spurs in the postseason, about ready to close out some games. Now, tonight we got a couple of closeout opportunities, 2 game 6s. And it's interesting, the team that's up 3-2 is on the road tonight. So will we get at least one game 7? The early game is New York at Detroit. The late game is Denver at the LA Clippers. I do think New York is going to be able to close things out tonight at Detroit.
I think you've lost your mind. I think we're going to have 2 game 7s. Detroit wins this. They snap their losing streak at home in the playoffs, and they get it done. I think they've got New York thinking a little bit. And Thibodeau made a bad mistake in Game 5 by not calling a timeout and getting his star back in the game. I don't think he'll make that mistake again because the Knicks are a different team when Brunson's on the floor. He is clearly the star of that show, and they've got to keep him out there as long as they can. But I think Detroit's got some confidence. I really do, and I think that's bad news for the Knicks.
Well, and again, Detroit's to think that Detroit, and it's been a gazillion years since they won a playoff series. And if they were to get a game 7 at the Garden, they've already got 2 wins at the Garden. Even if it goes 7, can they win a game 7 on the road at Madison Square Garden?
Well, that is a whole nother story, right? Would be very difficult to do. But just the fact that they get it there, I think for this team, as young as they are, up and coming, to have that playoff experience, that playoff success, I think will do them wonders as they go into the offseason and then head into next season. So, I just don't trust New York. I never have, and I won't. It's just something about the New York Knicks that they just have a tendency of falling just when you don't expect it. And I don't think this season's any different. And look, I think, if I had to sit here today, I think the Knicks will win this series. They'll win Game 7, but then they're toast against Boston.
Well, and yes, most teams are. I still think Boston and OKC will meet in the NBA Finals. Now, Game 6 tonight in Los Angeles. What I hope happens and what I think will happen are 2 different things. I hope LA gets eliminated tonight. You could have both LA teams done within a 24-hour period. I just feel like the Clips are going to roll the Denver Nuggets tonight.
Well, there's only been one game that's really been a blowout in that series. And that was the one the Clippers won. What was it, Game 3? So Denver getting that Game 4 was huge, and that tip in right at the buzzer that got them that win. And then of course I say one game blowout. Hell, Game 5 was a blowout. Denver did the blowing out in that game, but they were red hot from the 3-point stripe. If Denver stays hot from the 3-point stripe, they're going to be very difficult to beat. I think it's a close game. Clippers probably win it, and we go to Game 7 back in Colorado.
It's always a fun time. And again, hopefully next year. Not hopefully. I fully expect next year the Spurs to be back in the postseason. Quite honestly, thought that was going to happen this year. And the move for De'Aaron Fox when they did it, to me, was the difference between being a play-in team and a legit playoff team. But then blood clots happened, and all bets off at that point. Reasons and excuses. That's pretty good reason.
Life happens,
not
man.
to be
Life
in
happens.
the postseason.
Yep.
So a fully healthy Spurs team next year better be in the playoffs. Better be in the playoffs. We're out at Taste of the Northside. Want to thank our friends from the Roadhouse, the Leon Springs location.
Yes.
They brought by some beef tips.
They did.
And little miniature rolls with a big old dollop of their great butter.
The roll was tasty. It was very tasty. And so we appreciate them. They're right out to our left.
Yep.
If you're listening on the radio, as we sit here in the Spurs fan shop, we've got a big glass wall, and Texas Roadhouse is right there to our left. And I They're already serving up some food to some folks.
Well, that's it. I mean, they say gates open at 6, but there are a lot of people walking around with food and with alcohol.
Yeah, I think it's that they might have said we're going to open a little early.
Yeah, There's no reason to have some line.
I wouldn't think so.
No.
Well, we're only a few minutes away from some food and beverage.
Only a few minutes away.
Yes.
Feels like forever.
It does. Oh, I think Shelton's ready to call it a day.
Shelton was ready to call it a day about 8:33 this morning. Let's be honest.
That's very true.
Shelton had a crappy day.
He did?
Well, maybe. I don't know. Did you take care of that issue? Or did you just walk out? I went to the restroom earlier today at the office, and somebody didn't flush. and so I told Greg, I don't know what happened after that. I don't care. I just don't understand how that happens at a workplace.
Dude, we're about to go eat. Well, I don't want to hear about some poo floating around in the office.
You want to talk about that lady with the road rage?
I don't want to talk about her either.
Gonna go watch that video again?
No, never again.
You know what we do about this time?
The Blitz wants you to know what's on tap. Presented by Sam's Burger Joint.
It is time for What's on Tap, brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint, online at samsburgerjoint.com. They have Los Tex Maniacs on stage tomorrow night. Saturday, Ruben V is hosting his birthday show. Sunday, Kings of New Ground. And if you really plan ahead, next Wednesday night, Lisa Morales on the stage there at Sam's Burger Joint.
Outstanding. Well, other things going on tonight out of Green Hall. Tiffany Dawn is playing out there. Wolf Stadium, the Missions are out there against those hated Corpus Christi Hooks. LOL Comedy Club tonight, Josh Blue.
Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar on a Friday. The Medical Center location has a band called Changing Lanes. At the Techport Center, Team Combat League, Dallas versus San Antonio and Houston versus Phoenix.
Wow.
I have no idea.
That sounds fun.
Band of Heathens, they're great, out at Green Hall. Tucker Wetmore is at Floors Country Store. Stable Hall at the Pearl is having its a 2000s party.
Okay.
Guessing, we've had 80s parties, 90s parties, and now we're old enough to have 2000s parties, like bands that came out in that time frame.
2000 and 2010, is that what we're thinking?
That's what I'm guessing.
All right.
Tobin Center has a band that actually sounds like it was named by Joe Reinagle. It's called Get the Let Out.
Get it out. Let's go.
Victim Blamed is at Vibes Underground.
Why don't you want to say he's at Rock Box?
Bastard Dane.
No, I'm just saying. I don't know why you didn't want to say that one.
Skipped right over it.
You really did.
I did.
Can't believe that.
Yeah.
Saturday night out at Green Hall, the Band of Heathens is playing out there. Stable Hall at the Pearl, American Aquarium on Saturday night. Interesting. Freeman Coliseum, Mercy Me. That's a Christian band, if you're not familiar, and they're very, very good. ACL Live on Saturday night is Mayday Parade. Then at the Moody Center, the iHeart Country Music Festival, Brooks and Dunn, Thomas Rhett, Rascal Flats, Cole Swindell, Sam Hunt, Bailey Zimmerman, and more.
And more.
Not familiar with that band.
I'm friends with the band called Nothing More.
Yes.
Should they have just called themselves And More? Should there be a band called And More?
Maybe. And more. I have no idea. At the ESPY on Saturday night, you've got Rise Music Festival, King's Kaleidoscope, Vocab, Tadashi, Rap Society, and more. They're going to have a busy weekend.
Why'd you skip over Paper Tiger?
Well, Paper Tiger has Mike. Everybody knows Mike, right? And then, of course, Kentucky Derby weekend, Retama Park's having a big deal, a big to-do for Kentucky Derby.
What's happening at Vibes Event Center on Saturday night?
Tame Impala Night.
I
have no idea what that is.
I have no idea.
No clue.
Sunday, for your Sunday fun day, Green Hall has the Kathy Bauer Band. Julian Baker and Torres will be at Stable Hall at the Pearl. I have no idea what's at the Majestic. It's a hashtag, and
I mom so hard.
I don't know what that means.
Well,
holy cow. Billy Idol Sunday night at the Moody Center?
How about that?
That'd be a hell of a show. Absolutely.
Could be.
Jack White at ACL That's a hell of a show. Health at Paper Tiger.
Health.
One night they got Mike, the next night they have Health.
Well, at Green Hall, they don't have Health, but they have Heath Walker. Matt Kearney is at Stable Hall at the Pearl, and that no-name tour, Jack White, 2 nights at the ACL Live.
Dude, that's pretty awesome.
Now, see, that's a lack of imagination on Jack White's part. The no-name tour. Way to go, dude. That's beautiful. That's genius.
They couldn't come up with a name. What are we calling this? No name.
Come on.
When my dad was in Vietnam, he adopted a dog, and the dog's name was No Name. Because he said, I was like, how do you call a dog No Name? And it's like, it was just hanging around, and about 2 or 3 weeks later, it was still hanging around, and somebody asked what the dog's name was, and he said, No Name.
No Name.
And No Name became its name.
Wow.
So
your dad and Jack White thinking this along the same lines. Yeah.
I mean, coming up with tour names has to be somewhat difficult, I suppose.
You can think of anything. With some of these goofy band names, are you kidding me?
We're talking about Jack White.
Exactly.
Right? No Name. No Name tour.
I'm thinking of things right now.
Tuesday night at the ESPY, Wilco with Waxahachie. That we've been giving away tickets to that show. I know a lot of you are going to be out there. You also have the Missions taking on Frisco on a $2 Tuesday.
That is sponsored, by the way, by 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Next Wednesday, Ryan Eagle will be not anywhere near the Alamo Dome because it's Jelly Roll and Post Malone.
Yeah, he's the restraining order.
Holy cow.
Is still in effect.
So Wednesday night, we've got Post Malone and Jelly Roll at the Alamo Dome and Stained and Breaking Benjamin at Frost Bank Center.
Wow. It's a pretty good night of music.
There are going to be a lot of people unproductive on Thursday morning. There's 2 big shows.
That's pretty cool.
On a Wednesday night in San Antonio.
It's good to see San Antonio getting some big shows. I like that.
Absolutely. Breaking Benjamin's fantastic.
Yeah.
That'd be a good show. Stained,
I'll take your word for it.
Trust me.
I have no idea.
You would rather go see Posty.
And now I know Post Malone and me and Jelly Roll are tight. So
tight is not the way I would describe it. Although Posty, we've hung out with that dude at Cowboys camp.
Yeah.
So
we have.
I mean, you're friends with both, you could say.
Absolutely. Maybe I'll get some backstage passes.
I don't know if you're that good a friend.
I'm not.
No. Plus, the restraining order from Jelly.
He's got pictures of me in his tour bus.
You never made the tour bus.
If you see this guy run.
Good Lord. Time to go drink.
Yes.
Rob and AJ are supposedly coming out to taste the Northside. So I would say the morning huddle from 6 to 10, but let's say 6-ish. They'll be on at some point after you wake up. I would a special
edition of Extra Innings with Pledge, 6 o'clock.
I mean, it might just be Edwin Hafner and Vic tomorrow morning, but we'll see if they fiesta right. Extra Innings with Pledge is next here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM.